is not only a simulation, this is World of Tanks Blitz. A test of will, a test of teamwork, a test of reflexes and courage. 40 million players worldwide, 300 tanks, 7-on-7 action, and only the best will emerge victorious. 4 teams have entered our arena, 3 will fall, and only 1 will rise as Mobile Masters champions. This is World of Tanks Blitz. Welcome to Las Vegas for the Mobile Masters 2017. It is time to play some World of Tanks. Teams are in the building, prepping out their battalions as you get a look at the action and the hustle and bustle of the Strip and Fremont Street. But all eyes are focused intently inside the Millennial Esports Arena here in the desert. Ali Najad alongside my inimitable duo of Snake Eyes and Bushka, two guys who are incredibly familiar with the World of Tanks. Thanks for being here with us. Let's get right into things. The tournament format, gentlemen, a double elimination. It is not a lose and go home situation. Best of 3 as we kick things off, moving over to a best of 5 once you get down into the losers bracket or once you get to the semis on the winner's side of things. We've got some real prize money up for grabs as well. Right. We'll talk about that later. 4 teams of 7 players all set. And gentlemen, as you look out there and you notice that the Twister Cup, the same 4 teams that contested for that World Championship have come back over here. What are your takeaways?
It's no accident. These are the best tankers there are. This if you had to go to North America and take a poll, best 4 teams, they're right here, right now. So you've got the best talent you've got in North American tanking, and we've got our first matchup is going to be a grudge match. Big match. Hate Us More and the boys from the Cobras. Maxi, we watched that in the North American finals. Oh, fantastic.
It was an amazing game.
Yeah.
It was 2-0 with Cobras leading the charge.
Yeah.
And then they hit a wall.
Yeah, Premo came back and smashed them. They won 3 in a row, came back victorious, walked away with the chocolate rations. It was a really good game.
Pretty epic little comeback there. And the other storyline to mention is the fact that 3 out of the 4 teams we're staring at here come from that purple clan sphere.
Yeah, well, the Premo clan, the Premo boys wouldn't be happy with purple, and Premo won't be
right.
There's a lot of inner-house rivalry there, but they are all from the same clan, in essence. So they know each other's strategies. They've trained together for months. These guys work really, really hard. They don't look like big-time athletes, but in terms of tanking, they are the best you can get.
Yep, exactly.
No doubt about it. And the Eclipse Void guys, the little wild card out in the mix as we got a look at the brackets there. And we are ready to send it down to the arena where Hate Us More and the Purple Cobras are going to be squaring off. So without further ado, we head over to where those 7 players are standing by to draft. And Snake, you and I both know who the tanks you choose during this drafting portion of the program. This can really make or break and set the tone for any given match.
Super important. Each team got their own strats. I'm pretty sure they already predefined the tanks they're going to pick for each map. It's just wait and see for us.
They won't tell them either. Like the draft, as you call it, is exactly right. They're going to sit there and choose different tanks, and they will have to make a decision based on what tanks the other team has as to how they execute their strategy.
Well, and that's where the familiarity with one another is going to come into play,
really
because
tough.
This is not the first time they're squaring off. So, you know, the meta of it is just going to be incredible.
Yeah, this isn't their first rodeo, really. And for a lot of these guys, it's going to come down to the calls made by the leaders of the particular teams. They're the ones that are going to have to define the strategy and define the way the game's played. So it's very much almost a man versus man thing here as well.
Right, because you got the leader on leader. And how important is choosing the right captain, choosing the right caller or leader, as you put it, Snake?
Look, it's probably the most strategic guy on the team. The one that maybe has the most experience, the one that's done it before, and the one has a plan.
Yeah, and it's basically Darwinian. It's an evolution. These guys were chosen as the callers for their team because they were the best players.
Yep.
They were the guys who really founded the strats and who came up with the best counters. So they're not there by accident. They were chosen because they were the best for the job. So what you're getting here is basically 2 teams that are excellent tankers with 2 excellent callers.
And this is the map that they're going to be playing on. The first 2 games in the match are going to be on Castilla. If we do need to go to a third, then we will head over to Fort Despair. But there is a look. And What are the features that stand out, Bush, about Castilla?
Well, look, the A cap there is going to be a very, very hotly contested cap for anyone that's got a bunch of medium tanks. The C cap is where you can expect to see a few more of the big boys, the thumpers, the pie eaters. They're going to love it. They're going to get stuck in up there. And the B cap is going to be the Maverick. It's going to be the one that they throw up in the air. Wherever it lands is going to very, very much favour. If a team can get the B cap, they're in the driver's seat.
Absolutely. I'll be surprised if anyone go for B
Yeah,
cap first.
I don't think they will. It's a dangerous cap, wide open.
No doubt about it. And Snake, for those that are a little bit less familiar with World of Tanks, let's talk about what it takes to actually win any given game. 1,000 points, which can be earned in one of two ways.
Correct. So you either get 1,000 points by dominating caps, controlling the caps, and or killing your position.
Yeah, blow them up.
Right. Easy enough. Pretty
Easy
simple.
enough.
But a blend is obviously the strategy that I would say more often than not teams tend to favor because
yeah, you can win. You can win with tanks alive. You can win with one tank alive or 6 tanks alive. You lose points every time you lose a tank, and the other team gains points. So it's like a 2-shot swing. You lose a tank, you lose 60 points. The other team gains 60 points. So you put a big number in there. So that's very important to keep guns alive in the game. But just as important is controlling those caps and building up pressure. So if you'll see one of these teams go ahead on points, then the other team will have to make a strategy and make a move.
And to control a cap, obviously, it's a certain amount of time sitting on that position. Yep. The more tanks you have in that position, the faster you control the cap. As we've got the action underway, gentlemen.
Here we go. We've got a lot of TDs there that we weren't really expecting on the Premo side. Hate Us More, the T110E4 of Player. He's there on the left-hand side of the screen as you're looking at the top C-cap area. There is a medium as we expected going down towards A. Snakey, look at that. No one contesting down there on the western flank from the Cobras.
I'm not surprised given their lineup though. So
yeah, they really do have, you can see, look at the IS-7s.
Yeah.
IS-7s everywhere. Oh, big hit there into Player. The IS-7 taking a massive hit. You can see the hit points there already favouring the guys from Hate Us More. 14,195. They're pushed through and they've got C-cap. We have a 332 point, the Cobras are ahead on points, Snakey. They've got the team pick already.
Yep, they've got TD sitting at the back, obviously, controlling that side of the map.
I'll have a look down there in the spawn. You can see the one there on the mini-map on the left-hand side at the bottom of the screen. There are 2 TDs on the mini-map area, and they are pointing straight up. They're trying to get shots in from the top of the hill, but Maverick in the AMX-50B there is controlling that C-cap at the top. They've got 3 IS-7s just under. Now, the IS-7, for those of you who are not aware, is a very, very strong heavy tank from the Russian side of the coin, and it is renowned for bouncing and bumbling forward without taking any damage. That's why they are running it. It's also very mobile. The mouse of Mike 8, you can see at the top there, is a big German pie eater. You can see him on the right side of the screen. He's got the most hit points in the game. He's got the most armor, and he's an angry human to take on one-on-one. But the IS-7s are actually looking... Oh, we've just had a B cap. The guys from Promo have managed to cap B, Maxi.
Amazing.
Yeah, incredible.
I thought it's not going to happen.
A man of few. Don't mince any words there for us, Snake.
The man from Minsk, he's a well-read human. And the B cap is in the hands of Hate Us More, so you can see they are now ticking forward on the cap points there. They're at 500, and they are streeting ahead, double the cap points. The guys from Cobras actually managed to hold the cap at C quite comfortably, but now they're pushing around, and they've got Scumbag Juju there underneath B cap. They're going to try and bait.
Yep, they're pushing hard now.
They're pushing hard into B. I can't see who it is there in the water, role-playing a submarine, but he has been forced back. That's Dragon. Dragon in the IS-4 has been forced back. Samuel at the top. He's got shot straight down B cap, but he can't reset. Not resetting at all.
No,
they're going to take that back. They're going to take that back. Maxi, if they get ahead on cap points here, they are going to be looking very, very pretty. And Cobras at the moment, very, very low on the hit point bar, but as yet, we haven't seen one tank go.
No, it's actually quite interesting. The hit points are not too far off, though, actually. It's still possible to catch up.
But we haven't seen a tank, no dead tanks yet. This is unheard of. On the Asia Twister Cup finals recently, the paint hardly had time to dry before someone was nutted. Dragon Den looks like he can go down. B Walker is all over him. B Walker, the former tree lopper and NBA power forward, he loves it. Player from the import from Russia in the T110E4. He's looking up there on the top left of the screen. He's very, very low, but Dragon Den, as we look at the beautiful fadeaway there, Oscar-winning cinematography. I reckon in the IS-7 is under the pup. The grill of Samuel, he's holding that cap area. We haven't had a loss yet, but there are a lot of very, very sick humans here. Look at Naked in the IS-7, 256 hit points of that 2,000 left.
He's about to go.
He looks like he's going to go Mike 8. You can see the mouse is starting to assert itself. I reckon it's spotted now. For those of you who first come into the game, on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see the Cobras. They have little light bulbs next to their name. That means they are currently spotted. If the light bulb is not going off, then it is not visible to anyone on the enemy team. And that plays a huge role in World of Tanks Blitz. When you're not spotted, you can't be hit, and that's the best armor of all. And we've got our first one down. Naked for the Purple Cobras is absolutely done. Mike 8 moving around. He's looking to put the shots in. He is very, very low. Mike 8 is down. We've lost player in the team on 10.
Here comes a push on the mouse.
Here comes a push. The mouse, the Goose takes out the mic. He is down. Happy days. I reckon it's very, very low, and he's spotted. It's all happening now. It's hammer and tong here at the commentary booth. 992. The Cobras have won it.
1,000 points.
Well done. Great stuff, Purple.
So the first game going to Cobras, gentlemen, and it looked as though when Pramo had that B cap early on, the advantage was there. How did the Cobras manage to come back?
Well, the big push underneath came because the Cobras managed to move their heavy tanks down. Scumbag Juju really held that. He was absolutely assertive there in the spot under the B cap, stopped the grill from pushing down and pumping shots across and resetting, and then the AMX-50B of Mav, they came right around that. But this is not unlike how the games rolled out on the Twister Cup finals.
It was very aggressive.
Yeah, Purple took an aggressive early lead, and then the guys from Premo managed to get their heads together and counter it. They're all pretty au fait with each other. That strat looks new to me. I'd not seen that before. The C-cap push from the IS-7s.
Well, the IS-7s had to push the cap because they had no choice.
Absolutely.
You know, and the mouse was sitting there as a gatekeeper. You know, he has a big cap and protecting the tank destroyers behind it.
So. Shall not pass, Gandalf. Love it.
Now, Snake, I'm noticing some players favor the mobile handset. Others are working off of the iPad. Do you have a preference, and is there any difference whatsoever when you look at objectively what's more advantageous?
Look, these guys are absolutely unicorns, and they can play on a 4.5-inch iPhone. And my fingers are too thick. You know,
Sausage
I
hands.
need a big screen to be able to actually navigate my tanks.
Plus, we're quite old men, so we
but
can't
my
see anything
not
that's
as good as.
All right, so we're back, and now it is time for Game 2 in this best of 3. Behind the 8-ball is Pramo here. What sort of adjustments, Bush, are you looking for out of them, given how things played out in Game 1?
Well, I think they've got to be a little bit more aggressive there. They did take the B cap, but they did it in isolation. And they left the IS-4 in the B cap, isolated, and they were basically able to go forward. Dragon got nutted down in the river there, role-playing the submarine, and that was where they really lost it. That was the key matchup. They have to move more as a unit. They have to leave no one isolated. And to do that, they're going to have to really think it through because the guys from Purple have seen this movie before. They know a lot of the strats, and they're very au fait with it. They're going to be very comfortable right now. It's all on Pramo's shoulders.
It felt a little bit to me, Snake, as though Purple wanted to sit back and allow Pramo to take the initiative and then decide how they wanted to respond in turn, not certain perhaps how they were going to approach that particular round.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the next game will be very interesting. As Bushka mentioned, you know, Cobra can play defensively now because they're ahead.
They are.
As soon as they control 1 cap or, you know, even 1.5, call it 2 caps ideally, they can just sit back and defend and don't need to rush forward.
Big thing to look for here too is getting to the caps first. They're on opposite sides of the match, so often you'll see like a clockwork where one team will go one side, the other team will go the other side, and it's like the hands on a clock turning around. They don't really see each other. Whoever gets in the cap first will get points first, and that 5-point buffer where one team caps it a millisecond before the other, that will decide on who dictates terms of play.
So once you get that advantage, obviously, you can sort of sit back.
You can sit on it.
Yeah,
absolutely. You can park that up.
Yeah.
So it's going to be good to see here who gets the first cap. Absolutely important.
Anything stand out as far as the tanks that we saw? Obviously, we're going to get a better glimpse of them once battle commences.
Yeah, no real surprises. Lots of...
I think the lineup is very similar to the first game.
Absolutely.
So here we go. It is round 2 with Pramo behind the 8-ball, down 1-0.
And you can see on the bottom of the, on the top of the map rather there's a medium tank. Now the mediums are denoted by the chevrons, two lines, one on top of the other. The heavies are 3 lines, one on top of the other, and the TDs are triangular. And the mediums actually move the quickest. And I'm surprised there because the guys from the Cobras, They have not pushed A, whereas Premo, as we expected, have been super aggressive and are actually going with a double cap strategy.
Yep, B and C, yep. And you see Purple locking up A.
Yeah, that never happens really. We very, very rarely see a B cap at the start, do we, Max?
Yeah, they went just clockwise. That's what happened.
And also there was sort of that aberrant lack of damage. All the tanks were still in play pretty deep into that first game.
Yeah.
Do you look forward to more of the same here, or could it be a little more YOLO?
I reckon we'll see a lot more people punching each other in the face before this is through. These guys are playing far more passively than I'd expect. There are 4 heavy tanks underneath that B cap though from the Cobras, and what they're looking for is a tank in isolation. They've got a lot of hit points, they've got a lot of armor, and they've got a lot of mobility. That tank, the thing it lacks is a gun that you can actually aim. So it only works up close and personal. And what they're looking to do here is find a tank like iRaken that we can see there in the IS-7, find him in isolation, and actually devastate him with really, really aggressive firepower. However, we can see that Dragon Den here is looking down that alleyway, and if they move across, the light bulb will go off, they'll be spotted, and they'll have to pay for it with a big pump. Look at Goose! Maxi, the Goose! He's under the hammer.
He is losing.
He's losing hit points. He's very low, 900.
Yeah, look, I reckon he got a lot of support on, up on the hill with E4 sitting up there as well.
We've seen a bat chat, Maxi. First bat chat spotting.
Yo, first bat chat.
The bat chat's a light tank. Ali, that is a tank that can move without dropping its camouflage. So all these other tanks, as soon as they move, they absolutely drop all their camo. The bat chat can go 70 kilometers an hour without being seen at a very, very close range. So it makes it very, very effective at scouting and taking sneaky caps.
Look at, it's like the mouse in the house. You know it's there, but you never see the damn thing. You just see the nibble marks and the crackers in the cupboard.
And we can see here, Goose is down. The Goose is out from Cobras. Big move. And Scumbag Juju, the spiritual leader, and oftentimes Lothario of Cobras, he's gone as well.
They're trying to push the cap.
Yeah, this is more of what we expected. There's the bat chat. He's spotted up. He's copped a flogging. This is 2 auto-loaders. They're clipping out here. Samuel doing a brilliant job in the bat chat.
Did you see bounce?
Mate, he hit all 3 on the M48. Maverick in massive trouble. He's got Mike 8 underneath him. He's going to feel a little bit of love from the left. He's going to feel a little bit of love from the right. There's going to be a Maverick sandwich going on very, very shortly.
The forehand massage.
Boom!
Oh, it doesn't look good for Cobras now.
Cobras are out. This is all over. This is more of what we expected. A much more even and balanced game. In terms of the score sheet, at least.
374 down in the IS-7 as well, and down goes Naked.
Yeah, Naked's gone. Fishy all over it in the Object 268. You can't come back from this. This is the fat lady singing I Love It. Samuel in the bat chat. Bang, bang, bang. Bro dude leg, all gone. 1,000 on cap, and
that's it.
That's it.
That was a dominant comeback there from Premo. Obviously made the necessary adjustments, didn't take on the same approach they did the first time around to level the score at 1 apiece. Now if you're Cobra Snake, I'm making you the caller. I'm putting you in Scumbag Juju's shoes and I'm saying, what are we doing here? We're looking to you to bail us out and take it home.
I'll be aggressive. I have to be aggressive.
Yep.
Yeah. You really have to go hard now with a Premo. Well, it's 1-1 and the next one is a decider. And they both, I would assume, Bush can correct me if I'm wrong, they probably have scenarios for both teams, what they're going to do in this kind of case.
Well, the difference here is we're going to be going to Fort Despair, which is a map without elevation. It's very, very much a flat map.
So how are we going to see different drafts and build-outs on account of the fact that the map differs with that lack of undulation?
What you may well see is a bunch of people playing very heavy tanks aggressively.
And pushing the caps.
Exactly. Here we go. We've got the top-down map now. The B cap on Fort Despair is probably going to be contested. C cap certainly.
Absolutely.
But the A cap is like
no
wide
man's
open.
land.
If you go for the A cap and you get it, winner chicken dinner. If you don't, you are going to get absolutely flogged in no uncertain terms.
High reward, but high risk as well.
Very high risk.
Yeah. Not a lot of cover out there.
Yeah, these guys don't like throwing away guns. I'm really excited for this one. I expected that last game to go very much as it did. Premo.
Here's the lineup.
Oh, here we go. Look at the lineup. 3 IS-7s there. If you're wondering what the strongest tank at Tier 10 is, you'd go with the IS-7, wouldn't you, Maxi?
Oh, the mouse.
Well, the mouse is looking good. Mouse in the house. I'd be surprised if we didn't see some more aggressive people from Purple.
Yeah, look, they've got MX-50B, which could actually make it to A cap.
Yeah, it could get there. it would get 100% deleted, but
But it's fast enough to, you know,
We're just
go.
here to entertain you, Snake. Don't worry about us.
I just want to see trying it.
yeah, why not? We've played a few tournaments ourselves, Maxie, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been successful very much. Not.
That's why these guys are the pros. Yeah, Ali, this one's going to be crackerjack.
The IS-7, the durable play, though. I mean, across both maps, we're seeing multiple IS-7s.
It's renowned for being an overpowered tank in the game. That's what they call it. Because basically you've got no downsides in mobility, no downsides in armor. The big downside is the gun. But all these tanks have different characteristics. The IS-7 has a horrible gun at long range, but they don't use it at long range. They get right up in your face and try and give you a bit of a Liverpool kiss right in the nose, and it works a treat. And that's why all these guys run at least 2 to 3 IS-7s in every map, and that's exactly as you can see right here.
So here we go. This is the third and deciding game in our first match between Hades War and Cobras, gentlemen.
Yeah, we've got an M48 pattern there, Maxie. A big mouse on the Cobras side, and let's see who pushes for that C cap. Are they going to move as a unit, or are we going to see a little bit more of a diverse field of fire? They're going to A.
They've split. No, they're going to B.
They're
going to A.
They're going to A, dude.
They're going to A.
Well, they're not playing for a cap at all.
That's very unexpected.
This is almost like they're afraid to lose it, both these teams, because no one is contesting a cap yet.
They all went to A.
Yeah, we've got 2 either side at 8. Now, this is why...
But they went to A and they're not capping it yet,
They're not capping it. No, they're not capping it. And this is why you see these teams play together an awful lot. They scrimmage 3 or 4 times a week. And look at if you look at the mini-map down the bottom left, it's a near mirror image. Both the teams running a nearly identical strat.
It is.
That A is like a minefield right now. I mean, you're in the crosshairs of just about every tank if you go for that cap.
You can see the laser beams. It's like the start of Star Wars. The Empire and the Rebels, the red and the blue flashing down the tunnel. Everyone's looking for an advantage. No one's really willing to give anyone an uppercut. There's no one looking here at the map as I see. Oh, C-cap. We've got someone jumping in the C-cap there.
Who's that?
Very cheeky. Are they actually going to cap, or have they been reset? It could be Iraikkonen for Hades 4. I can't see that on the actual, on the screen at the moment, but someone was in C-cap and they haven't capped it. They're actually looking across and trying to put shots into the side of the map. Scumbag Juju in the M48 there, just below the B-cap. Concept and Mike 8, now they are the leaders of the Premo tilt. They are out in the flank and they're looking to isolate Naked in the Cobra, but he's got good help there in the IS-7. Juju in the M48 is 625. Now he is a sub 150mm roll. If Fishy can get a hold of him in that T110E4, an average alpha roll will do him. Now, just so you know, guys, if you're watching and you're not familiar with tanks, a T110E4 is a big dog. It's got a monster cannon. It's got a 150mm that does 640 damage, and Fishy only has 620, Cobra. Juju only has 625 hit points. Oh, Maxie, you got to help me out there.
He's pretty much one shot. He took a flogging.
Yeah. They've isolated down the bottom. Player, he's in all kinds of trouble. The AMX 50B is clipping him out in the M48 of Scumbag Juju. They're pushed into the C cap. They might have capped C, but they're going to lose player. The ex-Russian from C4 Fogging, he's there. He's getting belted. He's got no hit points left at all. Bang. This is interesting. We've got 1 gun down, 6 guns. 7 guns play 6. They're up on hit points, the Hades More boys, but that's going to change very, very soon. They're going to recap. No, they're not.
No, Cobras need a cap.
They've bailed back round. They've taken a gun, but they've bailed. They're in hit point distress, as they say in the classics.
Snake, how the heck did player get himself in that kind of trouble there?
I think he just was isolated. He was trying. He was playing for the cap. He got the cap, was defending it, and just got crossfire.
They exchanged a gun for a cap, which we're going to see how that goes in the long run. But Iraikkonen, he's very, very low. There's a lot of hurt boys here. Iraikkonen's on 68. Iraikkonen's on 68. Where is he?
Where is he?
He's going to go.
What's there?
Iraikkonen's on 68. Concept's low. They're pushing up on the flank around the A cap. They're capping B. So we're going to see a cap each, unless the boys know. They've taken Iraikkonen's still not gone. Oh, we've lost Maverick. Maverick in the AMX 50B has been clipped out. Concept. We've got a 3-tank push. Juju's low. He's waiting for Mike 8 to fire. Mike 8 is not firing. He's fired.
He's coming to push.
He's fired. They can't push Juju out because he knows as soon as he goes out, they're going to focus him. He's gone out sideways. They're trying to protect Juju. Mike 8 is in big strife. So is Concept. Juju's just holding his hit points back. They've turned it into 3-on-1. Concept down. Player down. Raikkonen's nearly gone. Mike 8's got 3 tanks on him. We're about to lose out there, but the Cobras, they've only got 1 tank that's not above that A cap. And that's an app driver, APT driver there in the mouse. He's in big strife. This is a lot closer than it looks.
Raikkonen's on vapors right now, hiding behind that other tank.
Taking
cover.
Mike 8's out. Raikkonen, how do you roll the 2 hit points? Someone's kicked the dog this morning. You deserved a lot more than that. That's amazing. That is getting value from money from your hit points.
He's gone over the spike strip. The chopper's in the air. The news coverage is there, and he's still not slowing down.
Here comes a big push. This is the gameplay right now. This is make it or lose it.
That's it.
Absolutely incredible. They're going to push around here. They're going to look to take out Raikkonen. They have to do something because they don't have a cap. If they don't take a tank out right now, they're going to lose.
Yep, it's going to be all over. They need a cap right now.
The boys from Premo, they are holding the upper hand. That Raikkonen on 2 hit points is incredible. If he had a run into someone, he would lose more than 2 hit points.
Right.
So this is all in the hands of Premo. Juju doesn't have the ability to tank a lot of damage. He's going to take a hit there. You can see he's a one-shot now. The mouse from Dragon Den is pushed down. Juju's isolated with him. Samuel's on 272. Raikkonen's on 2. Juju, oh, he gets a bounce.
Wow.
Oh, massive, big win. Wow.
That was intense.
That was a near identical replay of the North American Twister Cup Finals.
That was
The pendulum swinging back
Premo
and
had to win
forth.
2 in a row.
The story there for me, guys, though, the value they squeezed out of that IS-7, if it would have hit a pothole, it would have gone
He
down.
was scared. Mate, Raikkonen, he must have not skipped leg day because he absolutely deserved that. That was incredible. Taking it to 2 hit points. Some of the alpha rolls on that are so variable. Incredible stuff.
And you got to look there at the boys from the Purple Cobras looking dejected.
Yeah, very unhappy.
Certainly not pleased with the outcome there as we look at some of the highlights, the replays. What stood out for you, Snake?
Look, this is the first game, right? So the first game.
The second game. This is the second
Sorry,
game.
the second game. That's I think there
That was
a
the
bit.
bat chat there that was putting the HP on.
He hit all 3 shots. Now, that's very hard to do in that bat chat, especially against something like an M48.
And this is the final one, isn't it?
This is amazing. This is really, for me, you can see they're doing 2 separate pushes here. We've got the IS-7s out here isolating Concept and Mike 8, but these guys just have to stay alive long enough for their mates in town to flog the rest of the team.
That was the rugby scrum right there. We
That's
just got
right.
to look at.
That was a ruck and maul. That was the All Blacks belting the Wallabies. The ball just bodies flying out the back of the ruck. It was fantastic stuff.
Oh, man.
Look, the Caps won.
The Caps won. Very, very important. Oh, look at the shiny head of Bushka there. That's exciting.
I can see my reflection.
Look at you guys. Where's the focus? Where's the focus? Okay, so listen. Juju's got to regroup his squad now.
Yeah.
They're going down into the losers bracket.
Yeah.
And you guys both know the emotional tilt factor can be there sometimes. Based on what they've shown off there in that first match, what is the regroup going to involve, Snake? I mean, are they going to go with what didn't work and see if it's just a matter of facing off against a team perhaps less equipped for it than the Premo, than the Hate Us More boys? Or is it, let's rethink it altogether, that didn't fly?
Look, I think that the Tanks, the lineup itself probably won't change significantly, right? It's just going to be roughly the same. But I think that guys, I feel Cobra is just going to be more aggressive.
Yeah, I was really surprised there because there was a big opportunity for anyone to grab that C cap, and no one did.
Yeah. They were just playing way too defensively.
And again, we see the first team to get a cap gets advantage. And Raikkonen, he lost his gun, but they took that C cap, and that ticked the scoreboard
and
over.
that gives them that first advantage.
Gave them the pressure. Pressure wins this stuff. And it builds. You build the game. You let the game come to you. You build the game. And that's exactly what Premo did there twice. I'm really, really surprised that the guys from Purple didn't do more of that. And you noticed that the map's strategies were nearly exactly the same.
Yes, absolutely. Lines up was similar.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to send it down to our sideline correspondent, Maria Ho, who is standing by with a member of that winning Premo team, Concept. Maria.
Concept, you guys lost the first game. How do you feel like you made the strategy adjustments necessary in the next 2 to come back from that?
The first game was a complete screw up on my part. I shouldn't have gone through spawn in the first place. But the second game, we came back. We just traded better. Like it was straight just trading damage better. Third game was just brilliant. Like I love the strategy that we came up with. So
I love it. Take responsibility for when you feel like it's your fault, but also take responsibility when you're like, yep,
Yeah.
I fixed that. So playing head to head, it's very different than, you know, playing
online.
exactly. So how does it feel? Are you guys nervous? Are you guys excited? You guys are moving on to the next round.
Well, one of my friends was twitching. I'm not necessarily nervous. I've not done this kind of stuff before, but I've been live before, so it's not really that big of a, I guess, nervous. I'm not a nervous wreck.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys in a bit. Good luck in the next one.
Thank you.
Concept, stone cold, gentlemen.
Yeah,
He
mate.
gave us a little. And by the way, when he says that his friend is twitching, it's not like a physical malaise that he's experiencing. Of course, we're referring
These guys
to
are
Twitch
nervous, man.
as we're ready to get back to the action with Eclipse and Love Us More. So let's bring them out to the battle arena, gentlemen. And what do we know about these two guys?
Well,
These two teams, I should say.
Void Clan sent Love Us More here, and they are one of the better clans in the North American server. If you had to rate the clans at the moment in terms of 1 and 2, it would be the Premo Purple conglomerate, and then Void would be right there behind them. They were the same 4 teams that contested the finals of the North American Twister Cup, and so I would be very, very surprised if we don't get the same kind of results. And that would mean here that you would be favouring the guys from Premo and thinking that Void would be slight underdogs.
Well, Snake, how important is it if you're going to excel to the highest echelons of World of Tanks, or in general, many of these games, these RTS or FPS games, having a clan, being able to bounce strat off of other people and really evolve together, almost compulsory, is it not?
No, absolutely. You know, and you know, this clan, they're big. They, you know, they have 50+ people and so on, and they have a choice to pick the best of the crop out of this, you know, pool of talent.
Right. They have their minor leagues, and then they bring them up to the majors.
And that's who we see here. You know, the clans are huge. They have hundreds of people, but we see best of the best clans.
I think it's something interesting to point out here too, and this is a bit of a demographic thing. You can see on screen in both the games that we've seen so far and this team that's coming up now, there is a big mix of older and younger players. And it's because mobile gaming really lends itself to a very, very wide demographic. So you end up with a really amazing experience where you get guys like myself and Snake who are a little bit older, and guys from both teams, and these young guys here as well who really move the needle in gaming.
Are there certain attributes that we expect to see, though, like the older players will favor a certain conservative strategy, perhaps, whereas the younger guys will have that all out, or vice versa? Is
the thing I think you find
across the board?
that is universal is the discipline. It's not something you expect from, I mean, esports is so much about discipline, just like any sports is. These guys train and train and train. They put the hours in. Like, they spend time away from family, 3 or 4 hours sessions a day where they work on these strats, and the ability to have that discipline is something that you find with a lot of the older players, and that's why they fit in so well. It's not just about fast twitch, it's about teamwork. This is not a single-player game. This is a 7-player game, and that's an important factor that a lot of people overlook.
And I think I love the idea now that as much time and as much money at times is being invested into these games, at least we are creating an arena, a platform for these guys to win some money. It's $5,000 for first place that's dangling out there. Now, granted, you're going to split it up, maybe give a little extra to the caller, but yeah, it's just me, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's important to give people who are making the sort of investments that these guys are, both in time and money, a chance to maybe, you know, make a living out of this. And certainly this is steps in the right direction as the boys are there. And the other, when you talk about demographics, you and I, Bushka, were talking about how geographically you see tendencies and trends. North American players have a different makeup, conservative, than perhaps like the Asian.
Yeah, the Asian players, there's a saying from one of my favourite authors, Terry Pratchett, if there was a sign up on a button that said, press this and the world will end, the paint would not have time to dry in Asia before they'd done it. They do not muck around. They are the iron fist. It's a real tendency amongst the Asian tournament teams to just win on not on points, not on caps like we're seeing here in the American finals. They win by killing everyone.
Well,
everyone
we saw
goes
in
down.
the Twister Cup, as you mentioned, one of the teams that really nobody had on their radar to get
Team
all the
ID,
way deep into the finals did so with that exact strategy, and everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Snake.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
All the plans are there, all the planning's there, and then you start, and it all goes to hell in a handbasket. And ID did that in the Twister finals. They went in as massive underdogs and got beaten by the Russians in the finals in 5 games. They took it to the end, and that was because no one plans for the Spanish Inquisition, so to speak. You just go straight down the guts and headbutt them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the reason they lost is because they tried to use the same strat.
They did it
And
twice
the
in a
Russians
row.
were ready.
They were ready. They ate them up.
All right, and speaking of ready, these two teams are in the process of drafting their first set of tanks, 7 aside, a best of 3 in the upper bracket, the second of our first 2 matchups. And it's again going to be Castilla for the first 2 and Fort Despair if we go to the rubber match. Gentlemen.
A lot of Russians. A lot of Russians. Look at all the Russians, Maxi.
I can see the grill.
You can see 1 German tank there, and you can see an American tank. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 Russians over there. And listen, you wouldn't know the game developer was Russians, that all the Russian tanks.
Absolutely. Look
The
at this.
Belarusian roots coming through.
You couldn't say anything about that.
No,
could you?
no, yeah, I'm biased. You know.
The pride of Minsk.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're going to have very much the same kind of lineups we had in the first one.
It is very similar. I can see the 2 TDs. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be sitting at the back and just holding the gates.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. There's only 1 light tank in this game, and lights are the fragile flower of Blitz. They can be incredibly effective, but they have no armor. They are basically on a wing and a prayer. If they get spotted and touched up, it will be big.
But we saw in the second game of that first matchup that Bat Chat inflicting 3 straight
Smashed it.
shots over there. Did
Smashed
a
it.
lot of nice work.
Yep.
Some heavy lifting that you wouldn't have expected out of it as we get things underway, boys.
Look at
And there is
FedEx
the Bat
Man.
Chat.
Yeah, he's running the Bat Chat. Now, the Bat Chat has 3 shots in an autoloader, then it has a very, very long reload. All the other tanks that we've got in the game here are standard shot tanks. So they have a 1 shot, then a long reload, then another shot. The Bat Chat is all about the burst damage. And FedEx is, oh, look, he's pushing into C. He doesn't realize there are 4 tanks there ahead of him. He's not spotted yet, though. Now,
He's
that
not
is
spotted.
the clue. He has spotted up a Krekov in the Eclipse in the IS-7. And he's coming around that corner. You're going to see on the right-hand side of the screen there, FedEx is in the Bat Chat. When he's spotted, the light bulb will go off, and there it is. The light bulb has gone off. They'd love to isolate him, but if you can discretion the better part of valor there, Maxi. Look where he's going.
Yeah, no, he has to push now. He just realized there's no one there. No
Yeah.
one's there to defend. They
Teddy
see
balls
he's
in.
pushing in. That's it.
Into C, and FedEx has bailed big style on the Bat Chat, and he's now looking down B. They're seeing if they can get a little bit of action going on there. First to the cap.
A.
First to the cap. The boys from Void are the first in the cap, and that means, they
they're gonna
reset it.
reset.
They reset it. Look at
Their Bat
FedEx. The
Chat.
Bat Chat's reset it. Now,
Well
Ali,
done.
that is absolutely brilliant. You've called it. The Bat Chat's had a very, very big role there. He's reset that cap. They're in there. They're capping it. And that means that the guys from Void, who got to the cap, my God, they're exactly the same.
Yeah,
Are they exactly the same? They
They
are.
are
did.
identical.
This is unheard of. So they have capped at exactly the same time, and there is a split hair between them. I cannot tell which team is in the lead.
Avoid is keeping B. That's it. Now they are.
They are. They've capped B, so Void has a 2-cap strat here. This is big stuff, and both the hit point pools are very, very, very close. Void a little bit lower. Let's see how the boys from Lovers More go. They are,
Yeah, they're reinforcing the B cap. They're going to hold it.
yeah, they're all pushing around, and the Void guys are bringing 2 big guns down the bottom. There's a grill and a 268. Now, for those of you who are wondering why they're big guns, they've got 150mm cannons. The IS-7s have 120s, and the Bat Chat has a 105. And the damage is absolutely commensurate with that. Both the 150s can take.
Void is pushing.
Huge push. This is head-to-head
Oh my
tanking. This is
God.
what we're after. Wind Force. He's right into us. Oh, we've lost our
very-
first one. Big Popper Bender. He's down from Beamer. General Lee is going to go down as well. He's on 175 hit points in the M48. Lovis Moore's down. This is Hammer and Tong. One after the other. Teddy Ball and Beamer. Dixie Flyer. Lovis Moore's right back in he's role playing the submarine, Maxi. We've got 4 on 2. The grill's there. He's
This
going
is
to
an
go.
all-out
Yeah,
assault by
the-
Eclipse over here as we see the
Eclipse.
scrum at the Rio.
Eclipse is isolated. This is
They've
absolutely
lost
brilliant.
the cap, though. They've lost the cap now.
They've lost the cap, but I don't think they mind so much if they can win this one.
Yeah,
If they can win, if they
it's
can get
kill
rid of
all
Tigray,
strategy.
the Tiger,
When
the
you
Tiger.
get the muzzle straight down the gullet of your opponent, generally speaking, you don't miss.
That's right. Walk up and touch somebody, and but look at this, it's now 4 on 4. They are down on hit points though. The guys from Premo showing their savoir faire.
Look at
They've held
Tigray.
on.
Tigray playing possum down there in the river had his man go right by him.
He did. You can't fire when you're in the water. You have to move out of it. Dixie Flyer's not moving at all.
Dixie
That's a
Flyer's
bit.
dead.
I'm a bit worried. He may well have actually
think
lost
that's it.
connection there.
I think that's it.
Tigray's not moving.
Yeah.
I
Now,
think
in
they've
these sorts
called
of situations, it's important to note that we do have our officials standing by. that are able to resolve these matters and come up with an official tournament decision as we cut away from the action and await a decision. And based on the looks on the faces,
yeah, it looks like...
now we may have lost connection to our feed to cover the match, but it would appear
that Premo came back from that one.
Standing by on word. Love Us More ended up taking it down there.
We lost it, but you could see they were very excited. It didn't look like they called a draw, did it?
No, but they were smiling.
Yeah,
but remember, they both capped ANC at the exact same time there, and you just saw the points moving up at a steady clip, neck and neck.
Look at Void. They look. They know they let that one get away.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't look happy, do they?
I mean, they had an edge in tanks right there
They
when that
should've
scrum
won
at the Rio
They
went
should've
down,
won
and
that.
then
Absolutely. I don't know why they've just regrouped and pushed those two IS-7s.
It's really impressive.
It was amazing, side. It was a beautiful game, but they've just lost the caps because of that big push.
That's the reason you run the IS-7, because when you think it's going to get penned, it just doesn't. It bounces shots.
Exactly.
It's got no
It took
right.
too long to kill him.
Took too long. You can't muck around, and if you want to play A grade, you've got to stand up and get counted. And they just had every opportunity there. That was the way to go one up and put the hammer in the hand, and they just didn't do it.
It didn't work out.
As often as we're tempted based on a loss to ask, well, what are the adjustments that Eclipse needs to make? I'm not sure it's an adjustment situation. Perhaps the call was the issue there. Maybe they didn't execute the way that they were supposed to.
Well, they had two caps. They had two caps. I mean,
But they let it get away.
if you had had that push and hit every shot, the numbers stacked up for them. The maths was all for them. They had enough tanks there. 4-on-2, the 4 should win every time.
Well,
they really took too long.
Here they're behind the 8 ball as they're down 1-0 in this best of 3. And will they approach things the same way they did the first time around back here at Castilla?
Well, straight away, you can see this bat chat. And the reason this is exciting is because the bat chat now at Tier 10 has on-the-move camo maxi.
Yep, that's which from the last patch, isn't it, Bushko?
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to use this thing like a beacon. You can see Wind Force there from NA is going to go up the top of this mountain in the bat chat, and he's basically going to park it there. So they will get intelligence on every movement that happens without being spotted. Now, if he gets spotted, it is going to get real ugly.
Very quickly.
Look at that little trash panda.
Yeah, man, it goes.
Okay,
it goes. Oh, he's spotted.
Yeah.
You'd want to move.
He's spotted his IS-7.
Geez, he's very, very... No, yeah, he's thought better. He's driven down to a rock.
Yeah, he's out.
Panic at the disco. They're going to get C-cap here. He was trying to reset it. That's why he was hanging around for a little bit longer. So they've got the C-cap. There's no one in A-cap yet, but they are able to contest A-cap. We can see 2 people there on the bottom left-hand side of the screen on the mini-map. They are looking over the top of A-cap, and they're stopping the guys from Love Us More from getting that cap. So again, 2-cap strategy.
Very interesting.
But look, Love Us More zeroing in a little bit on that A cap and then has their eye on the B as well.
They do. They're trying to do a hold and fight strategy. So you can see there's 2 big heavies there looking at B cap with a TD behind them. That's the triangular on the mini-map there. And they're going to put the other 4 guys around and try and isolate one of those guys who's up on top of the mountain, take him out of the game and work on the edge from there. But they're not getting it. They're just not getting a hold of anyone. No one's really leaving themselves out in the open. Oh,
a little hide and seek going on.
There is. Very, very, very touchy, feely. No one with they're putting their hands up and saying, yeah, I'll have a go. Everyone waiting for the other side to lose it. And they've got plenty of time on the cap. Plenty of time on it.
Plenty, and I think Eclipse going to be more careful this time. I don't see them pushing, aggressively like in the last game.
Well, you see, they're up 528 to 384 right now as it stands. And once you get that lead, you can sort of force the issue, make the other team come to you.
That's true. And it's very hard, Ali, to hold a 2-cap strategy. It's such a big amount of map to cover, but they're doing it really well.
They spread very nicely around.
Look at the bottom of the map there. You can see we've got the medium and that'll be the M48, I believe, of Love Us More, and the TD, the 268 of numbers, as he likes to be called, 2438, 2386.
The numbers.
Why doesn't he just call himself numbers? He's a clown. They're pushing up, and here it comes. The medal is about to meet the road here. We have 5 tanks from Love Us More pushing towards the top north corner.
Love Us More. Going to come around and push into the cap.
Flanking.
Yeah, we're going to see a whole lot of guns here. They've isolated. Look at the object 26, mate. FedEx man, he's isolated. He's got 3 on him right now. He's not going to last.
He's about to go down.
They need to clear him quick. There's another one in the clip. He's gone.
Down he goes.
So it's now 3 on. Oh, it's all squeezing up the top. There's a lot of tanks there from Eclipse that don't have shots into that top corner. Promo are trying to come back here and take advantage of that.
They're
Teddy
pulling
Ball. Teddy Ball's made it out of there alive. Look at him.
He escaped.
He escaped. Look at the back chat of Windforce, mate. He's got 3 in the clip and he's pumping across into Teddy Ball. Krekov in trouble. Dixie Flyer is absolutely a one-shot for every man on the map.
Void is doing a great job.
Void is kicking it, isn't? Oh, really strong. Oh, watch out, Krekov in under the pump. Maxi,
they're capping now as
you've
well.
jinxed them.
But they're capping. Look at the caps.
They're capping. They've got a 3-cap strat. They're on 1. They get 1 more tank. If they kill 1 more tank from Promo, if they can get the IS-4 out, they win it. They just need to get 1 cap.
Just one kill.
Promo have got no choice, Maxi. They're in the C cap, but they're not in B. They're going to win this. Void are looking strong.
And
this is
there
it.
it is.
That's it.
Wow.
It
That
worked
was
out this way.
impressive. Seldom do we see the 2-cap. It was a 3-cap
That was
strat
a
that they
3-cap
ended up.
strat.
And somehow, courtesy of the way Love Us More approached things, they
Look
were
at this.
given that opportunity.
Look at the faces, the fist pumps. Everyone's happy. Oh, I
Yeah.
love it. They came here the underdogs, mate, but they're not willing. They've done some work. They've been in the weight room. They've been doing wind sprints. They are absolutely rippling with esports muscle. They're ready to go.
There was some sexiness to that,
There is.
to that victory there.
There was. Krekov, the big man at the back, holding down the scrum. He's the tight head of Love. He was very, very interested there, putting out the fist pumps. They love him. He was the man in the middle. He did a lot of hard work there.
Level off at 1 game apiece. Snake, what was the turning point there?
Look, the second match was definitely what Void should have done in their
Yeah.
first match. You know,
100%.
they capitalized on 2 caps and just defended. That's exactly the right strategy to be in.
Yeah.
So the game is now even. You know, we
Even
won
Stevens.
1.
And it was too little too late as Love Us More tried to zero in on that C cap and recapture. It just, at that point, they were so far behind the 8 ball.
Yep.
And they were taking massive HP as well.
Well, that's the thing. If you can get a cap lead and then you can get a couple of kills, that's 1,000, you know? And you push down into it, and that's all well and good trying to clear tanks and take caps back. But you also can't afford to lose tanks. And when you have to make those decisions because they've been made for you, when there's no good decisions left, that's what happens.
Right.
You end up with a match like that.
And the deference and sort of that yielding that is the byproduct of some of the conservative strategies allows for that sort of situation
Exactly.
to manifest itself.
Absolutely.
So, Maxi, what are we going to do here? Where are they going to go from there? Like,
So we're on Fort Despair now.
Fort Despair.
Yes.
A bat chat on Fort Despair.
I say
Wow.
Bachat going A.
We didn't expect to see so many bat chats, but
Well,
you
it'll
know,
get there first, but it's so vulnerable out there on the A cap. I mean, it
It
doesn't
is
take
very
a whole
much.
heck of a lot. You sneeze and that thing flips over.
It's
Well,
a fast tank.
the big guns can fire HE into a bat chat. Now, high explosive will do about 30% more damage, 50% more damage than a normal round. If you hit a bat chat with high explosive, you can take 2/3 of his hit points at once. And
It's
very
actu-
different. Very different strat.
Very different strat. So Bachat didn't go into A, but he's sitting there to spot. They're pushing B, so it's a
Yeah,
B.
Maxi, we saw the promo guys, both the teams from Purple and Promo in the first one, Cobras and Hate Us More, they both put IS-7s either side of the A cap. That ain't happening here.
No, it's a bit different strat. And I'm surprised why Bachat didn't go A, because it's open.
It's open. It's open. He doesn't know that.
He doesn't know.
He
But
doesn't
By the
know.
way, look, you've got a
The
couple of
benefit
units.
of hindsight.
You've got a couple of units to the northwest of B, and you have enough support where maybe they make a beeline for the A cap.
Yeah, they could. Here he goes.
And
He's
there he
going to do it
goes.
now.
Yeah, he's going now.
thinking about it. He really wants to do it. Just kiss her, mate. Just kiss her. get it, A.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
They've got to. Oh, look at Eclipse. They're in strife there on that C cap. They've been isolated. The 57s are clipping.
Here comes a push.
Yeah, big clip. Now he's going to be able to clip and run away. Because what happens here is he's on the reload, long reload for the T57 of 50 FedEx. But while he's reloading, the other T57 Heavy is pushing around into Crime. Crime's firing. He's got one more to go. Can he get it out? He wants to get that last shot out before he gets taken out. Is he going to get that last clip out? He is, so he's maximised his damage. At least he's put some damage in before he goes down.
Mouse brings things to a close, or was it Heavy that got the last shot? Regardless,
It's looking strong here for the boys from Love Us More. This is more what we expected. Eclipse are going to be absolutely furious they let that first game go, Ali. They could have been up 2-0 coming out of that Castilla matchup, and the boys from Love Us More have run this one to a T.
They've dominated it completely.
yeah, they've
Absolutely.
got Stalwart,
Yeah, and this is more what we
Teddy
expected.
Ball in bad shape.
you saw the first match, all three of those clans, Love Us More, Cobra, Hate Us More, they have the same kind of strategy here, and they put that strategy into play on this map against the guys from Void, and with a little bit of a turn on, they didn't go around the A cap, and it's paid big dividends. They didn't extend at all.
No, and the 8 cap strategy was quite decent. It was a bunch of...
Well, it was nice because once, I mean, I think Eclipse played a little bit into their hand as they all zeroed in on that B cap, but they had the better position to move over and capture A while still covering B.
Yeah, exactly. And the C cap that they went for, Void went for C cap, and that allowed Premo, the Love Us More guys, to isolate the guys that went for C cap, and they were able to bring massive firepower. 2 clipping tanks can take out one other tank in one single clip. 3 shots, 6.6 seconds. Done.
Yep, they've just utilized that raw damage.
Yeah, raw damage, big burst damage. Oh, look,
fantastic game.
Boys from Void, probably upset there that they let that one go. They
as good as they looked in that second game, if they would have just approached things better on the Castilla map the first time around, they wouldn't have been in that situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, here it is. That's it. Look at that.
That was a mistake.
There is 4 tanks plus a grill on those 2 tanks there,
and
they didn't clear Tiger.
No, I can't understand how it happened.
Now, just so you know, Tiger is a loose cannon. That kid is absolutely hilarious.
He's a moist cannon. Look at him. He's back parked in the river. He just went for a dip and never came back out. And they actually flew right by him without finishing him off at one point where that HP might have
True
been
story.
crucial.
In the North American finals, Tiger went in the river and drowned his tank by accident. It was pretty hilarious.
He almost done it again.
He's loose, so you can never know what to expect. But he did very, very well there. Look at, I mean, just you can see there, they really let themselves get isolated. It was tough stuff. I expected a little bit of a tougher fight there from Void.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So,
they'll be disappointed.
All right, so Love Us More, moving forward. What are you looking for from them in the next round, Snake?
Well, it will be interesting. We have Pramo,
Yeah, Premo.
and Cobra.
And Purple and Void.
Yeah, so it's a Purple and Void, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is
down in the losers bracket.
Yeah.
Which is going to be quite an interesting game as well, and will give Void a second chance, effectively, to come back.
Of course, double elimination.
That's what double in's all about.
But when you win, not only do you move forward on the winners bracket, you get to hang out with Maria Ho.
Oh, yeah.
But how do you feel like you guys executed?
I thought you did that.
I feel like we have executed really perfectly, especially when everyone has been listening to the caller, and then so that we can be able to focus our fire onto the same tanks, and that is really the reason that we can win that game.
Okay, so going into the next round, how do you feel like your overall strategy is, considering you've played against the opponent plenty of times?
So right now we are trying to testing some new strategy against them, so that we can get like another. We can give them another we can give them another fight with them. Yeah.
All right, well, best of luck there. Thank you.
All right, you heard it. Focusing everything and being coordinated. Certainly the name of the game, as it's going to be a love-hate relationship in the upper bracket. But the lower bracket will be Cobras and Eclipse, the guys with their backs against the wall. And really, Eclipse, to me, gentlemen, should have been up there where Love Us is, had they executed.
It would have been a hell of a story too, because they were very much the first one out in the 4-man Twister Cup finals, and they have done a lot of work. Like, they've worked very, very hard. You could see there was some new strats there. Their coordination was better than it was previously, Maxi. I mean, they put up a much better fight.
Yes, like look, the first 2 games on Castilla, I was very impressed with Void.
Yeah.
Like, their strategy was good. The call was a bit wrong, with that big push. But on 4G Spare, I just don't know what happened there. It just all fell apart.
Yeah, well, this is what happens too. A lot of people will sometimes say, well, that team got dominated, or this team is so much better than them. But the actual truth of it is that with these guys, if they get a little bit of daylight, it's like they are through the gap and it will cascade down. So one mistake can ruin everything. And it's not really a matter of they were a 7-tank better team. They just got that little edge on that C cap, and then they ground them in.
I think also you have to not let one mistake cause panic at the disco, as you mentioned, and just, allow things to fall apart at the seams. Regroup, focus in, recover, and obviously, if you have the right build out, it's easier done, than said.
Exactly. And that's why they run those IS-7s, because they're so mobile and they're so tough.
Yeah.
You can put them in all kinds of situations.
Right.
Really, the only tank they fear are those clippers. And what did they have down there? 2 clippers.
The Clippers.
Yep. And we're
Pretty
not talking
versatile.
about an NBA team there. Basically, those tanks have a full clip, which a clip is 3 shots. So in 5 seconds, a T-57 Heavy can take out over half the hit points of an IS-7. And then it's got 25 seconds of sitting there doing nothing while it gets belted up.
Which is why it can't be out there dolo. It has to get a little bit of assist.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That's why they do it in pairs, you know what I mean? So while one is unloading, the other reloading.
Yeah,
You know what I
run
mean?
their clippers together. And they had a big mouse there too. And if you want to hide behind anything, that pie-eating monster is the thing you want to hide behind.
The house mouse.
Burley too.
All right, so the Cobras have taken the stage. It is going to be elimination time as they're facing off against Eclipse. And Eclipse, fresh off of that loss, probably chomping at the bit here. I don't know if I want to be Cobras.
Yeah, well, this is pretty scary too because this is real for these guys. Like everything else we do is online. We do so many online tournaments and streams and games, but to be there in the same room, to have this pressure on, people are performing differently. People are holding up better under pressure. People are going to be making calls under pressure, and it's a completely different environment for them.
Yeah, as much as Concept wants to say, I've streamed before, I've done all these things, this
kidding
is still a little bit different.
It's
Obviously,
very different.
there's some psychological ops at play there. You know, you don't want to be like, I'm falling apart at the seams, boys. I'm panicking.
Concept's a confident human, though. He's
is.
very confident.
Yeah,
Very well known for that.
Very well known for his confidence.
definitively vertebrate.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. It is game 1 between Cobras and Eclipse in the losers bracket. Lose and go home.
There's only 6 tanks there, Maxi.
They're missing one.
And we did someone just throw the lollies down and go home? Have they done enough?
Someone didn't get a look in, maybe? I don't know.
Taking their toys.
Who are we missing? Scumbags there. Mav, Bro Dude Leg, Apt, B Walker. B Walker's not in there.
Well, we're working on it right now, and as we investigate, important to mention that we are now moving on to a couple of different maps, gentlemen. It is going to be Middleburg for the first 2, followed by Black Goldville in the rubber match if need be. Let's talk a little bit about the differences here as these guys are fresh off of the Castilla Fort Despair pairing. How are things going to change here at Middleburg?
Big thing about Middleburg is it's a map with 2 different stories. You fight for hills, not holes, as they say in the armed forces. And Middleburg has a very, very big hill area, and town, the flat area, is where the hole is. Town has 2 caps. The hill has 1 cap. You like altitude, but if you go up there and look for the gunshots from the top, you're giving up a 2 cap strat down the bottom, Maxi.
Absolutely, and these guys, it's not random battle. You know what I mean? They won't come out from the town. They'll control the 2 caps, and you have to come down from your hills and get wrecked.
We saw a really cool strat in the Asia finals of the Twister Cup with Middleburg, where one team sent every one of the hills apart from 2 tanks, and they were in a tiny little depression in the ground at the back.
2 IS-7s.
2 IS-7s. And they held that town area against 7 other tanks, while the rest of their team flanked around and spanked them in the butt. I would be surprised if we don't see a variation of that.
Do you know what? It was an amazing strategy. That was the first time I actually saw something like that. It will be interesting to see if they're actually going to use it here.
Well, we did get a chance to check in with Nick Scrivener of the Purple Cobras, who talked to us about his favorite tank before play got underway.
It has a really good armor profile. Not the greatest gun, but if you're using it correctly, you should be kind of up front in the enemy's face, so the blunderbuss style of a gun isn't such a big deal. It's very fast in a straight line, and it's very good hold down as well, so it can kind of do anything you need it to.
Talking there, of course, about our beloved Russian goddess.
The IS-7. The best tank in game. Well, you have to give it.
As you know, like a funny one too, Nick's called Scumbag Juju. Now, what happens online is pretty funny. You pick your avatar for a game, and you don't realise when you start out that you're actually picking your name for the rest of your gaming life.
It is such an important decision. I mean, my email address, I made it when I was 15 years old. I walk into a meeting, I'm having a professional moment with somebody, and I give it to them, and they just look at me like, really?
Well, I don't know if I can say this, but my email address is nudityjfandango, and you tried putting that one on the bank loan.
Somebody just formulated like 12 different domains on the back end of that just to get a hold of you. And here we go, gentlemen, already underway as we have 7-on-7 action. We sorted out the issues, and to the town we go.
Yeah, look, we've got 6 in town, and both sides sent a little hope up the mountain there.
A little spotter.
Oh, look, there's 2. We've got 2 going up top. We've got Beamer. Is he AMX-50B?
AMX-50B and light tank, is it?
Yeah, no. We got a Patton. We got a Patton.
Okay.
So Generally Amazing is up there in the Patton. There is Scumbag Juju up top in the Leo. And in town, we've got 5 on 6. So the boys from the Purple Cobras actually have a tank advantage in town, but they don't have that C-cap. Juju's had to bail from the C-cap, Maxi. They are pushing him back hard up top.
Do you know what? I'll be interested to see what actually going to happen with these guys on the top.
They're going to have to do something here because that's a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah, I mean, they have to push. They can't just sit there. You know, they've got to see.
They can't. They've got a 2-cap strat against them. And not only do they have a 2-cap strat against them, they have guns up top on elevation. So if they try and flank around the outside, they will get absolutely spanked.
Look, we see again 2-cap strat here from the Void Boys.
2-cap strat is huge. This is the corridor fighting that you look for. When you're in the mouse, the big dog, lots of hit points. You're looking for a corridor fight. Maverick in the IS-7 from the Purple Cobras is in
Maverick
all kinds of strife.
He's gone now.
He's gone. Tata Mav. And we've also lost the Stalwart, the E100. As they come around here now, this is where it is. Look at that. It's that 5 Cobras on Krekov in the mouse. Even the mouse can't last against that. Now, this is the problem with putting tanks up top. They are slow to the game. They're coming down the mountain now, but they are already too late as the Cobras have cleared another tank. Oh, they've lost. Scumbag Juju. Oh, I've called it too early. 4 on 4. Hit point pulls very even. Very even, Maxi. It is going off. It's hammer and tong here. Praetorian in the mouse. He's got to turn. Look, this turn is everything.
It's anyone's game right now.
He's angling up. The big, long reload for Bro Dude Leg. He's nearly there. He's about to fire.
Oh, yes.
Dorothy, he's out of there. That ain't Kansas anymore.
Showdown at the
E100.
OK Corral.
Oh, 3 on 2. Beamer's still in it. Bro Dude Leg. Goose. Big boys from Cobra. They're in there. Just the AMX 50B and the M48 Patton. They're all... Oh, look at that.
They've got Goose coming to help.
Yeah, it's all happening in the bottom corner. This is what it comes down to. Beamer is going to get absolutely flogged here. He could get ram killed. He's got no hit points left at all.
And look at this waltz between Lee and Walker.
Oh, General Lee Amazing don't have to be bloody more than amazing if he wants to pull this one out. He's side hugging the big tubby mouse.
Yeah.
Making it very, very difficult for B Walker to hit him. You can see him go back and forth under the gun there. But B Walker's not to be frivoled with. Oh, I just made up a word, everyone.
Ram kill.
Bro Dude Leg, 3 on 1. It's written in the stars. He is going to absolutely finish out. Puts up a great fight. Hell of a game.
Wow. It did not work out for the Void Boys with the 2 caps.
Well, you know, Maxi, that's the thing. 2 caps up top is great, but you can't, if they isolate down the bottom and make it a numbers game, you've got 6 tanks on 5. And that gives you the edge, and that's exactly what they saw.
Yeah, IMX 50-bit took too long to come around.
He did. Took too long to get there. Scumbag Juju bailed in the Leopard very, very early from that C-cap area. Went down, so it wasn't in fact 6 tanks, it was 7 tanks.
It was 7 on 5.
7 on 5. Big thing. So Eclipse now have lost 3 in a row. That's got to hurt.
Oh, yes.
And the hills didn't factor in at all. As you guys mentioned, the town was where the action was going to be all along. That 2-cap strat, the direction that things headed in. And so here, Cobras with the 1-0 edge and Eclipse reeling off of 3 straight defeats. How do they regroup, Snake?
They have to go all heavy. I'm just saying they should just forget about the top of the hill and just group all 7 tanks in the town, get control of 2
what
gaps
I'd love to
and
see?
hold it.
And we saw this yesterday when in practice. These guys were practicing. We were watching them on a map called Naval Frontier. What did they roll out? 7 mouses.
Yeah, they could do that.
Wow.
I'd love to see that. That would be like the all or nothing. Roll out 7 mouses.
They have nothing to lose.
It's like 15,500 hit points.
Now, it's important to mention that while we at home and here at the desk and those of you streaming can see the build-outs as they're taking place, it's not revealed to one another for the teams until battle actually commences. So they're not aware. They're not countering as things go on in real time.
Well, they do play a lot of games with that normally in tournament stuff, but I believe they've locked in early here. So it's not something that they can tinker with. So here we go, back up the hill. We've got a little bit of noise from the game here now. And this is a very, very different strat. Now, we just talked about hills and holes. Look at this.
I called the town.
You did? Well, one
This
team
is
heard you.
self-segregation.
One team heard you, but the other team not so much.
No, it's actually very interesting. But look where's the lefty 100.
Yeah, they left the 100 there. They left him with a check.
They left him to
the
die.
restaurant.
And Cobras are going with that A-cap while
there's
Eclipse
Mouse coming
goes
there.
with the B.
Now, what they're doing here is really interesting because they are now stacking the C-cap. So the thought process here would be they can hold C long enough to hold A and C, get a hit point advantage or get a point advantage on the caps, and then win it that way. Anyone that comes down there will have to go to the A cap. You can see Bro Dude Leg in the IS-7. They plan that. They absolutely plan that.
And they're uncontested down at that C cap right now. So unless Eclipse can head over to that A and try to
they're going to do
make
that,
a move,
but they have a lot of firepower there behind the stalwart E100. They're going to give up that A cap. Now this is, I don't really follow. I don't understand why they've done that. They're giving up the A cap.
And look at the C's
They're all coming
heading
back.
over to
All
reinforce
Cs.
and maybe perhaps try to recapture the A or hold it.
Now, Void screwed up last game by not getting there quick enough. What they've done here, what Promo have done, is they've actually used that as bait. They've put that cap there and then set all their big guns up on the hill. So as Void have pushed down into that cap, they've all taken shots, and you can see that in the hit point pools there. General Lee, who went to C, he's only got 429 hit points
and
left.
now they're trapped in there, and now they're getting flanked from behind as well.
Exactly. Now, Goose in the IS-7 is going to try and protect himself behind the E100 of APT Driver. Look at the friends rally around him here. Goose, they're trying to share the hit point pools. Now, that's one of the most important things in this, is sharing your hit point pool. Doesn't matter how many hit points left, as long as your gun is still effective. Generally amazing gout. The Eclipse, he's gone. Oh, this is looking a little bit tough here for the boys from Void. This could be 4 straight, Maxi.
I call it.
You
I
call
call
it?
it now.
You call it?
They're down 7-4.
They just don't have anything there. Look at their health.
Yeah,
you know?
if they
just
don't
lost
take
everything.
the next gun, this is done. This is done. They are on the first plane out of Vegas, or they're going to go put it all on red and hope they have a better time that way. The Goose, he's been hanging around on low hit points the high time. Krekov, Praetorian, Crime, if they're going to do it, one of them has to stand up and get a tank, because at the moment, this is there we go, the first one down, Bro Dude Leg. They need the Goose. The problem is the Goose is hiding behind a whole lot of friendly tanks. They can't push in and get him. Yeah, that's it. That's all she wrote. It's definitely singing here.
Yeah, Grekov is about to go down.
Yeah, they've got too many guns. Too many guns. They're isolating. 3 on 4, 3 or 1 on 4.
Down goes Crime.
He's gone as well.
Yeah.
That is
Writing was a little bit on the wall. A dominant, envenomating performance from the Cobras as they...
And mate, that was the strat. You've got to give credit there to the tactical genius of that strat. What it looked like, and it didn't make a lot of sense, was there was an E100 on his own in town, and then there was just 2 tanks sitting on a hill doing nothing.
They use E100 as a bait.
They used him as bait. And as the General Lee at the top backed off, if they back off C, as he's coming down the hill, he got tapped once, tapped twice, his combat ineffective. He can't do anything now. And they just took that edge, and that's what we were talking about earlier. They take that one little edge, and they just ground him into the dirt with it.
They played chess on that one, didn't they, Snake?
It was a very interesting strat, isn't it? It's actually not far off from the Asian strat we've seen with 2 IS-7s, right? Which they used as a bait.
Yeah.
It's actually very similar.
Slight variable. They didn't try and do damage. They used that E100 there to just hold that cap. And then as everyone from Eclipse thought that was the winning move,
push
they
right
made
into
an
the
error.
trap, and it's got bang.
And bang. And look, at the end of the game, all 7 tanks from Eclipse were in the one spot.
That's it.
It didn't look like that at the start.
It was too late by the time Admiral Akbar muttered those famous words.
It's a trap! It's a trap! Yeah, lots
Pretty
of
incredible stuff there.
Lots of good stuff there.
Yeah. Very good strat, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and we're seeing more and more of this. And to be fair, the guys from Premo and which is 3 teams here, basically Purple and Premo, they've had to come up with brand new strats. They really have, because everyone knows each other. So they're looking for new and inventive ways to get that edge. And you'd expect that because I'd never seen them do that before, and I've called these guys for lots of games.
Right.
And the other thing is, the team still remaining, of which Eclipse is no longer one of them, we're paying attention here.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt. So as Cobras move forward in the loser's bracket, if they eventually face off with the winner, and with strat like that, they may. That's going to be something that people are paying attention to.
And there'll be variables on that too. And that will very much depend on how fast guys like Juju can think on their feet, really.
Yeah.
Let's send it down to Maria Ho, who's standing by with a member of those Cobras.
So it seems like you guys worked really well as a full team unit. Can you kind of talk to me about how you feel like that led you to a 2-0 victory there?
Yeah, I think we just knew we needed to come back strong after that tough loss in the last game. So we talked about focus firing and making sure we're shooting the same target. So that seemed to work out really well for us.
What do you think you're able to do in the next round and make the adjustments for, possibly playing the same team that you played in the first round?
We're going to go through and kind of readjust some strats. It's a little bit tough because a lot of these guys are our friends and we play each other a lot. So, they know our strats and we know their strats. So we're going to work through some things and see if we can't change a couple things up and just try to keep focus firing and working as a team.
All right, well, you have a little time to work on that, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Listen, everybody's friends until you get a muzzle slid down your hatch after the little light knock on the door. So Hate Us and Love Us are up next, and the loser of that match will, of course, be facing off with the Cobras in that lower bracket. But in the meantime, Juju and his squad get to take a breather. And what do we think of this love-hate matchup on deck, gentlemen?
They've fought before, and it's a ding-dong battle. They fought before, but they had the same strats. Because time is a precious commodity, and you just don't have time to plan for everyone. And unfortunately for these guys, when they ended up in the finals, they all ended up with the same teams. So it was like a scrimmage for every week. They run these scrimmages. So what they would have done since the Twister Cup is completely redone everything. New strats, new thoughts, new variables.
Tear it down, overhaul it.
Exactly. And the guys in red there that you can see, Concept and Mike 8. Mike 8's famous throughout the community. He's a very intense guy, and he's really, really good with the strats.
What about on the Love Us side of things, Snake? Who stands out from that squad for you?
Look, I don't know much about the guys on the other side, to be honest. I've seen them play, and look, I've seen them playing together before, so against each other.
Tiger's loose. You can see Tiger there front and center. He's the man that drowned himself. Like if you're looking for anyone that stands out, that man's a loose cannon.
Yeah, I'm going for the Tiger this time.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a Speedo and a snorkel if he keeps up all that river play.
The Michael Phelps of Blitz.
Little dolphin.
Yeah, no, the real thing here, though, is the strats have to be different. But how much do you give away in these rounds?
In the interest of adjusting strat, if you compromise and you end up suboptimal, now you haven't done yourself any favors,
Exactly.
right? Just because everybody's expecting that IS-7 heavy approach because of its durability doesn't mean you should shy away. It's okay for them to expect it. So long as you execute better than the other side, you'll emerge victorious.
Well, the other thing is we saw ID in the World Finals last year. They used the same strat twice, and they lost because of it.
Yes, because they would keep recycling it without actually adding anything creative.
Yeah, so did these guys go and actually back themselves and do everything early? Or do they play a measured approach and just show a little bit of leg during the semis?
Yeah. Look, I actually still struggle to understand how they're in the same clan and have different strats. That would be just mind-boggling, you know what I mean? They have to put variations now.
Yeah, well, they've put so much work into it. I talked to Mike 8 last night. We had a bit of a dinner, a bit of a chat, a bit of a team rub-down, and we talked about this, and he said he's had to go back to the drawing board, and he is very, very tired because he's done so much work here.
Oh, I thought he was tired because there was so much team rub-down going on, because I didn't miss that, by the way.
Very
That
loose
wasn't
this
lost
morning,
on me.
Ali. Very loose.
All right, so here we go. It is an incestuous, cannibalistic, love-hate battle. Inter-clan action, game one in this best of three, gentlemen.
Brother against brother, state against state, mate against mate.
I'm excited. I think it's going to be an amazing match now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I spy a bat chat.
Yeah, bat chats, they love it. They love it. Can't get enough of it.
So on Canal.
I can see an E50M. I can't believe that that's what they're going to take in there.
Has it been locked in? No?
No, it hasn't been locked in, but it was the first E50M I've seen at such a high level competitive
before
battle.
we started here, Snake and I made a little bit of a player's bet
wager.
on who was going to be winning this, and the loser has to put $5 on a colour at the roulette table. I said that we would not see well, Snakey said you would not see an Object 263. And,
no, and you vetoed that, so I went with 183.
You went with a 183, yeah. And then I said you won't see a T62A. And so far, we've not seen either of those tanks.
What does that mean for us?
Yeah, it means we both got to lose.
You buy me a dinner.
I buy you a dinner.
Gentlemen, we've switched up the maps. I know you mentioned it earlier. Canal. What are the differences between what we've seen in Castilla and Middleburg here and Canal?
Isolation. Canal has a couple of caps that are in extreme isolation. You can't see one from the other. You can't approach one from the other. So there is the what we like to call the medium flank, the far out cap on the right-hand side of the map as you're looking at it here, which is the D cap, and then you have the A cap. And you're going to see here too, Ali, it's the first map we've seen with 4 caps.
Yeah.
So what you generally have here is one team will pick the one side, the other team will pick the other side, and you end up with 2 caps on 2 caps. But we saw some really strange strats in the Asia semi-finals here.
Well, that's where I would imagine rather than go for the caps, they just launch an all-out attack on the other side that they know are going to head. They know exactly where they're heading. So they can set themselves up nicely, and if they've got those heavy damage units, they'll be in good shape.
But it looks like everyone's going the same here, apart from Hadesmore are going to decap. Now, will they contest that?
It's an AD strategy for Hades from what I can gather.
Which is crazy. You can't hold AD. You just can't hold it because you get isolated out there.
I think they're just gambling on D. They're just gambling.
They see this, I've never seen a 3-cap strategy on this map before, ever. This is exactly... The guys from Love Us More will be sitting there going, what the hell is going on? Oh, really cool move here. You can see that they've not capped D. Now, the reason that is so cool is because they don't know there's a tank there. They have no idea that there is a tank at the D cap right now because the guys from Hadesmore are actually giving that up as a tactical advantage, and now he may go back and cap it. They still don't know he's there.
He's pulling back.
Yeah, it looks like he's pulling. Oh, wait, is he circling?
That's Concept, the guy we saw earlier. He's pulled back. He's not spotted. He's just spotted now. He's gone against capping it. What that means is that they now know exactly where pretty much everyone from Love Us More is. He would have spotted the lot. He's done it at very, very great risk to his own life.
We're about to lose a Concept zone. He's getting pushed very, very hard.
He's taken all shots, all 3 shots there from the bat chat. What they're hoping now is he pushes back because as all 3 shots have been gone, he's not falling for it. He's a very cool customer. Yeah, he's in big strife. He's isolated. Have they managed to turn the tables anywhere else on the map? They have 2 caps apiece. The boys from Hadesmore are up, and that's...
It looks pretty even.
Yeah, but Concept's in strife.
Yep. Concept about to go down. He's hitting IS-7 behind him as well.
And look, by the way, the unit that they sent out to that D-cap as they masqueraded the 2-cap strat as a 3-cap strat is actually in trouble, isolated out there.
Yeah, and he's now into the bat chat, but you can see the bat chat is on a full reload. That means until he is completely reloaded, Concept just gets to sit there and shoot him without fear. Oh, big miss!
Big miss.
Big miss! Oh, that's massive! And Concept is under 900 hit points. That means if the bat chat lands all 3 shots, he's dead anyway.
And he will.
Oh, he's going to be dead. Oh, that is overkill.
The big gun.
That's way overkill.
Concept sealed his own fate, whiffing.
Oh, I reckon in the IS-7, 600 hit points. He is very, very low. He's the next highest, next lowest on the map after Concept, who has 0 hit points.
And look at Grill way out in the nether regions of the map.
Yeah, now that
it's a very common position.
That Grill 15, he is a big gun as well. Very, very mobile. Good look. Now that player is actually Fogic, who formerly played for C4, who won Twister Cup. He's transferred over to the NA server and is playing with the guys who won the North American finals of the Twister Cup. That is why he's called Player. He's a super unicorn. Down the bottom, they're coming around now, though, Bellamore and Prodigy. Now, this is a big push up. This is probably the play of the match. If they can get up there, they've got cover at the back from the Bat Chat and the 268. They have an awful lot of guns spread across the map. They have a cap lead, Maxi. Look at that. They're up on cap points as well. They're just waiting.
Look at the mouse. He's just trying to push up. He's got a lot of support from behind.
But look, he doesn't need to move. They're up cap. They're up on cap points.
Well, he's just playing a spotter right now.
He's playing spotter. If they want to come down, they're going to have to shoot the mouse and have a look who's behind him. You've got a bat chat with a full clip reloaded.
Plenty of help
You've got a 268 who can do 640 alpha. Anyone that's silly enough to put their hand up and say, miss, I need to use the bathroom there is going to get absolutely #deleted. The Grill looking across the map, but he's not doing anything.
No.
And this is not utilizing him. I mean, granted, he's eyes, but wouldn't he be more useful if he was down there in the mix actually firing off some rounds, picking up some HP?
He's looking for the shot. You know the shot he's looking for here, Ali? If you look at the top there where the bat chat was earlier, at the back near the D cap, that's the shot he's got. If any of those
clear
guys
across the map,
across the map, if they spot any of those tanks there, that Grill will absolutely wreck them, and they won't be able to put fire in. So while those two are covering the mouse of Bellamore and the IS-7 of Prodigy, the cap's ticking away, and they're behind. And if that gets to 1,000, they're out.
I don't feel like Hadesmore is using that Grill in the right way, because Lovis is obviously going to understand that if they have that unit position there, that's what they're banking on.
Absolutely.
So they're almost taking it out of play.
That's 100% right,
pretty much exactly what happens.
They need to do something here. None of these guys are silly enough to give away.
A push.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Very different push. They've moved into this. Oh!
You saw that one.
Oh, he's gone. That's it. Done. Finished. Oh, wow. That was crackers. That's the value of a hit point strat. They build up that pressure, and they only had to get 2 shots in. They got the kills, and that just vaulted them past them, and they got the win.
Look, that was a classic NA server strategy. on
Wasn't
this
it
one.
just?
It was absolutely classic. Get the caps, save them caps, preserve your HP.
Yeah,
That's it.
and
Win.
There's
they hit-
nothing wrong with an old-fashioned,
No,
gentlemen.
that's right. But you saw though the blue team there. They were up on cap points. They were just holding serve. But at the end of the day, when you get that close to the end, and that's why they were waiting maybe. But they're better players than I am, and maybe if they wait, they know all they've got to do is kill 2 tanks, and that'll vault them up to 1,000.
Exactly.
And you ride that thin margin deep into the
absolutely.
match, and you
That's
just
it.
force the other team to
That's
kind
it.
of expose themselves, get
That's
vulnerable,
it.
and take the risk. So here we go in this best of 3.
Anything striking you there, Maxi? I'm not seeing a lot of difference.
It's almost identical lineup.
Yep. Now, Concept was in the Leo there. He had a couple.
He's still in Leo
yeah.
for this match, but yeah, as I say, very, very similar lineup. Here you go.
AMX
No, he
50B.
switched to IS-7.
Yeah, we're going all heavy all the time. We're not
Big
mucking
guns.
around here. And one clipper, just the one clipper there. Only the one auto loader on the red team Pramo side. The hate us more, the love us more. It's a constant conundrum for a caller to actually get these guys right. That's Mike 8 there. You can see left of screen in the grasses. He's an intense young man. Oh, he loves a bit of tanking. There's Concept at the front right. The bookends that the rest of the team is between. They're definitely the spiritual leaders of this side. Now, will we see that was a crazy strat before. I thought we were going to see a 3-cap strat. Let's see where we go here.
Yeah, they kind of baited them into the D, though, didn't they?
They did. And I think that
And
was
the
part
idea
of the
was they
plan.
had that grill parked back
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
the A,
yeah.
and so if all of a sudden they would have contested, if Lovis would have contested.
But they didn't do it. Like, I think Concept could definitely have capped that strat, but as soon as that D started going off, they would have pushed him and isolated him, which they did anyway. In the
He was
end.
very careful, though, right? I understand.
careful.
He didn't want to get spotted. He just wants a extra pair of eyes. So I understand his strat.
Yeah, but he missed that shot on
Big
the
miss.
Yeah,
back
that
shot. That's what
was-
took him out of the match.
Big miss.
Definitely.
Well, lucky for them, it didn't end up costing them the game.
Wow! Whoa! Hang on! Massive move here. Dragon.
What happened to
Eden.
that mouse?
He's pushed in. He's trying to cap C, and
Dragon
they've got
took it right in the-
everyone up on.
Dragon took it right in the meat and 2-veg, boys.
He did.
Yes, he
It's
did.
not much left.
He did.
He's about to
He's almost one
pedal
shot.
off this mortal coil. You can see he's using the big wall there, and they've got Fishy on the left. Dragon's not spotted at the moment, but he's backing out. He's spotted. He's spotted, and he's sideways. Now, they're side scraping. For those of you at home who don't know what that means, he's basically only showing the very flat sides of his armor profile, and that is enabling him to bounce a lot of shots. Now, the mouse does it better than just about anyone. So Dragon, though he only has 489 hit points left, he's by no means a guaranteed kill if they get a shot on him. Raikkonen there in the IS-7, that's a ballsy place to be, Maxi.
But he's
And he
an
just took a
IS-7.
shot
He's
there.
an IS-7. He can be in there.
Let's not get cocky. IS-7s go down with the
Yeah,
best of them.
they do.
If they stand out in the open long enough,
They've
boys.
got shots on him. They just need to HE him, but it's very hard to get that HE in. You can see there is a bit of soft cover in front of him. They can't HE through that. You can only hit through that with AP rounds. So he's managed to cap that. Very, very handy cap.
Very clever, hey?
Yeah, and they've gone up 2 caps to 1. That'll start telling on the scoreboard very, very soon. Love us more. There has the M48 pattern that is very, very low. So we've got 2 very, very low hit point tanks and a bit of a standoff again, exactly the same as
Yeah,
last
but
game.
they've got the cap advantage now. You know
They've
what
got
I
the
mean?
cap advantage, that's right, but they don't have C cap. The Love Us More boys, when they did this last time, they stood off at the cap area, but they had 2 caps to 2 caps.
Well,
Now
it
it's
looks
2
like the
caps to
Love Us
1.
More boys are starting to make their move toward that C cap.
Well, they've got to. Ali, they've got no choice. If they don't get a cap here, they're going to get absolutely ground down under really quickly too. They're going to be a big cap disadvantage, and they can't just make that back by a couple of tanks.
But look at Hades has that grill parked back behind the A. Does he have a line of sight on the C cap? Can he inflict hits?
He'll have broken cover. There will be spots he can shoot. Basically, he's relying on these guys, Raikkonen and Samuel there. Anyone that pushes up is going to get spotted on that right-hand side, and then the grill will be able to be far enough back that even when he fires, they won't see him. He's so far away. If you're past the view range of these tanks, he'll be able to fire with impunity.
Yeah, he's in the same position he was in last game, so obviously boys from Lavasmo know he's there. So I don't know how much shots they're going to give him.
Well, you can see he's on the reload now. He's putting shots into the grill of FedEx Tom, and he's still not popped on the minimap. There's no light bulb next to his name.
It's just blind shots. He knows
Blind
he's
shots.
there.
No one can see him. He is like the eye in the sky, and he is raining down unholy death on all of them. They are not liking that grill at the moment. That's a 150mm cannon at the back, having free range.
Still very close games, though.
Very, very close. They're under the pump here. They've got to win this. The guys from Lovasmore absolutely have to get up. There's no two ways about it. The guys from the red promo team, Hatersmore, are holding all the cards. They are ahead on cap points. They're 1-0 up already. It's looking absolutely knife-edge stuff.
But
Nothing
Lovas
moving.
they've got to take chances here.
They do. They have to.
They can't. I mean, they're behind. You see the points creeping up.
What they're trying to do, Ali, is exactly what happened last game. They were behind on cap points, the red promo team, and they got across the line because they took two quick kills. They're waiting till they're within striking distance of that 1,000, and then they're hoping to isolate, smash 2 tanks, and leapfrog there. So they can be in a position where they've got 10 hit points left on 5 tanks. It doesn't matter.
Is
the
Tiger going for a dip?
The push is coming.
Tiger's in the water.
The push is coming through the middle.
Put on the speedies, mate, the budgie smugglers, and get in and like it. They're trying to isolate down the bottom. Now, the grill, if he fires here, he's going to be spotted. He's going to be in big strife. He's going to be spotted soon anyway. This is the push.
Grill doesn't have a showdown from that angle.
Concept's in trouble. Dragon Eden's in trouble. There we go. Concept's down there. Look at the hit points. Look at the scoreboard up the top. They're ahead now. They've taken another one. They're at 900.
Windforce just took a big blow there.
It doesn't matter as long as they've got a gun in the game. If they can get another tank out, they will win it. 962. Irekinen's in huge
That's
strife.
it. It's done.
Done. That's
Nice.
it. They've fought back, and you think they're
they
not
pulled
happy
it back.
about that.
They pulled it back.
Oh, that's exactly what we talked about happening. Maxi.
Yeah. It's exactly the strat. You know, you're waiting to the very last second. You pick the right opportunity. You regroup. You push. You secure your tank.
If you can stay within touch on that cap point scoreboard, they can then just come down, and they were able to isolate tanks, get the 3 quick kills.
Classic.
Vaults, if it had gone for another 2 minutes, they all would have been dead. Didn't matter.
But Haters should have been preventing that isolation. They should have understood.
Mate, it's very, very hard to stop isolation. If 3 IS-7s run at you, there's not a whole
You
lot
run.
you can do
You
to
close
stop
your
them.
eyes.
They did everything right apart from win.
So Lovas has leveled things off with the Hatesmore clan, or team, I should say. They're all part of the same clan. One apiece. The winner of this third and deciding game will move on to the finals. High stakes play
Big
here.
stakes. Big stakes.
And the map is going to be switching up as well. We're moving over to Desert Sands, I believe it is.
This is interesting because Desert Sands, it's not like that. If you're going to be involved on Desert Sands, you have to be in the same area of the map as them. It's divided in the middle down a railway line. If you want to cross the Rubicon of that railway line, you generally have to pay a hit point price. One side has 2 caps, the other side has a single cap. It's much easier to take the single cap. If you want the 2 caps, you've got to contest it.
Yep.
A lot of where they go is going to be decided by the type of tanks you see running on the screen.
Do you have the armor necessary to expose yourself, head across the Rubicon, and seek out those 2 caps?
Well, I think they'll both contest the double cap. What do you think, Maxi?
Yeah, definitely. Look, we have 1 cap in the desert, an open space, and we have the town, which will be dominated by the heavy tanks.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if they will push the desert heavy. I think they might send a spotter or 2 just to, get an easy cap. But otherwise, it will be all the fight for the 2 caps in town.
Well, mate, we're looking for is there going to be a Lawrence of Arabia? Is there going to be someone who runs out in the desert on his own looking for fame and fortune? Or are we going to see a 7-man Iron Fist, ID style, right down the guts, going for the big punch in the face?
No, I reckon we've got 2 butt shots, each on each team.
Yeah,
and I think that's where they're going to meet. They're going to meet in the desert.
Meet in the desert.
Send the sprinters out to the
That's right.
the little cap and have them waltz.
The problem
so here
there
we
is-
go, the third and deciding game in the winner's bracket semis. Losing, you don't go home. You just head down to face off with Cobras, gentlemen.
The A-cap. Maxi, you were dead on.
Oh,
Both of them.
no, look at this.
They're both now.
No. That's a bit interesting.
Well, FedEx Tom is sitting up there and he's spotting. He's playing very, very, very cautiously.
I think you just wait and see game for him.
The bat chat of, look, the Musketeer player, that's Fogic. He's hanging it right at the top. You can see. Now, he's down the railway line, but there's an Object 268 there. If he gets a shot at that bat jet, oh, and he's got to back up because FedEx Tom's there. Is he going to take another one as he crosses? Object
he managed to avoid
268
it.
has shots right down their guts, and he's still not spotted. Maxi, he's not spotted. Numbers isn't spotted.
Well, look, Lavas more, they obviously realize now the cap is empty. You know,
Yeah.
the A cap is empty, so it's up
He's
for
grabbed
grabs.
it. He's grabbed it. Oh,
Yeah,
FedEx.
unpunished.
Haydas did not contest that at all.
Completely uncontested. But by the same token, what they've basically said is you can have C, we're going to get A. Are they going to be able to hold B off and keep this contained? Because once they've capped C, those boys from Haydas are going to be screaming around the sides, and there is a very, very good chance that these two IS-7s we can see here are going to get pincered right in the middle of the entire enemy team, and they haven't lost a gun yet.
Look, the B is no man's land now, right?
Yeah.
No one's going to go in there. So it's all going to be back to the strat. Let's wait and see, regroup, wait for that push.
But Hate has that sort of double advantage of being able to hold C as well as cover B at the same
That's
time,
damn
given
right,
their
Ali.
position.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. And anyone that is, this is what we're talking about. If you want to be involved in the fight in town, you've got to get to town. And to get to town right now is going to be a little bit of a difficult proposition for some of these guys from Lovers Moor who are out in the desert. Iraikkonen, there's no one low enough there from Hate to really be super worried about. Those IS-7s that were below the B cap are getting pounded, mate. They are absolutely in the tough stickers. Who's that? That's Prodigy and Bell. Oh, big bounce from Concept. We've seen him miss a couple of key shots. That T110E4 shot could have done anything. Tigray bounces a big one, the big Tiger. There's only one Tigger. Iraikkonen, ooh, Dragon. They're starting to push down. Here they go, Maxi. They're capping C. Numbers is capping C. They're pushing down Dragon even.
Yeah, they send the mouse first.
Look at the big push. 6 down low, 5 down low, 1 on either flank. Here it comes. Bellamore's going to get ram killed maybe by the mouse of Dragon. He does.
Oh.
Big fat pie eating ram kill. Love it. Can't get enough of it. They're turning 5 on 5.
Okay, they're going to finish that mouse now.
The mouse is tough though, Maxi. He's tough. Look at him.
It will take time.
He's a street fighter. He loves it. He's in there with the thick of it. There's 5 in front of him. He says, come on, punch me again. You can't do it.
He is doing a great job, that
killing
mouse.
it.
He's
How much
smashing it.
damage?
They
How
can't
much
He
kill
is
him.
so tough. He is soaking it up. He's just a damaged sponge. He loves it. He's tanking an epic wow style. Another mouse at the back. This is why you're
filthy
running.
little sadist he was.
That was the key play of the game.
That's it.
Haters more. How long did he stay alive for, the big dragon? He hasn't skipped leg day, mate. He's got cannons on cannons.
He was doing push-ups last night as well.
Can't get enough of it, mate. He was all over it. 4 on 1. That's it.
That's
wow. Oh.
And Hate us more, bouncing back.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, just to point that out, that is the top promo team that won the North American server against the Purple Cobras, and they bounced back big style there.
As good as Love Us looked against Eclipse, gentlemen,
Yep.
they got outclassed there.
Yeah, you got to step up again, mate, when you're playing A grade, and that was absolutely
The use
top
of
shelf.
that mouse as a sacrifice was an amazing strategic decision.
Big call, but how about the ram kill? Doesn't have to fire.
Boys, I mean, Haydas is through to the finals looking really good after having dispatched Cobras in, pretty
Red
convincing
hot,
fashion.
unbackable favorites.
And now getting through the rest of their clan as well, as the Love Us
Oh, look
team
there,
is going to head
Devoed.
down to
Devoed.
the losers bracket.
And playing Cobras.
Yeah, playing Cobras. And, mate, that is no easy feat because Cobras are a hell of a squad. They have a lot of experience at playing under pressure.
Yep.
And they've got probably the oldest team, a lot of the older guys, and they seem to handle it pretty well. Juju's got a hell of a story behind him as well, a backstory. He's a great guy. I'm really, really excited to see these guys in the next round.
All right, so while we await the showdown between Love Us and Cobras in the bottom half of the losers bracket, which is going to be the first of our best of 5 matches, we're going to step away for a moment and return with more Mobile Masters Las Vegas 2017 World of Tanks Blitz. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, sounds good.
Copy that. Dude, the Pramo fucking clan is just dominating. That's all that's left.
They're like a conglomerate.
It's nuts. Fucking Mitsubishi
It's
over
no
here.
surprise, man.
Fucking Samsung, the evil corp.
They train hard.
Yeah. Okay. 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 Like a definitive final statement, the intonation and everything too. You wanted a closed-ended statement. Okay, I'll give you that. And if I like to hemorrhage, and when what do you call it? If I sleep on it, keep me honest.
I don't think he's had any trouble pulling punches so far.
Fucking Matthew. Hey, listen, you guys didn't buy any more stuff at Radio Shack, did you? Or what?
Mate, once you have 2 kids, you can do
Hey,
anything.
you can send some gum up here. We'll chew it if you guys need some more stuff to weld stuff together back there. Well, I got my mouth's moist. That's not the kind of thing you want to advertise in a room full of fucking horn dogs like this. Lose the slate. What? God. Welcome back to Las Vegas for the continuation of the 2017 Mobile Masters World of Tanks Blitz is happening. It is right here. It is right now. And it has been all Pramo so far. Down in the loser's bracket, the first best-of-5 match will be between Love Us More and the empty chairs that belong
To the
to
purple
Cobras.
Cobras.
There they are. Look at them
Wow.
hissing their way up to the stage.
Mate, they might not look like athletes to the average eye, but these guys, as I said earlier, rippling with esports muscle. They are a hell of a team. Juju with the thumb pumps there. There's Big B Walker. Look at that. He lifts trees for a living. He's monstrous. Juju's he's talking the smack, laying it out there, telling him, you know, later on in the hotel, I'm going to punch you all in the
In the no-no zone.
Yeah.
As we take a look at the bracket and what's happened so far, Cobras sent down the way of the losers, courtesy of Hate Us More. If they manage to get through the Love Us group here, they'll be facing off with Hate Us one more time. And it's all been best of 3 so far, best of 5 at this point. This effectively a semifinal, moving into the finals for a shot at that $5,000 in first place prize money and being guaranteed the $3K, which is what second place is going to earn. As we set things up over here, and gentlemen, knowing the Purple Cobras as well as you do, having been punched in the face by Hate Us early on, and I mentioned it, I don't want to be facing off against those Cobras down in that loser's bracket, which is exactly what happened to Eclipse, and they got dispatched in short order. Cobras riding kind of that momentum wave now, feeling confident, having brushed off what happened early on in that winner's bracket in that very first match. Are they going to be able to do what it takes to get through Love Us?
I've seen Cobras against Love Us before, and Cobras came out on top. That said, all these strats have changed. We've seen completely new strategies from all the teams so far. Nothing has looked like it looked like in the finals of the NA Twister Cup. I would be surprised if these guys don't have something up their sleeve that we didn't see in the first round, Maxi.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I think Cobra's going to be very creative this time around, right? They've been doing really well, actually. I like their strats.
Yeah.
So I say they want to be in the finals.
Now, we've seen this map before, which will be the first that they're going to play. It's going to be 2 games on Castilla and a minimum of 1 on Dead Rail, which we have not seen yet. If we push to a 5th and deciding game, we're going to play those 2 on Dead Rail, and the final map will be Canyon. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Knowing that both Cobras and Love Us More have been forced to tip their hands in the first match and play Castilla, what you were saying, Snake, Maxi, is we're going to see something different here because you don't necessarily want to go with the same strat and get exploited.
Absolutely. It's definitely going to be creative, and I think the creativity will come mostly from Cobras. Just
do I.
knowing Juju, and obviously I've met him recently, and he's an amazing guy. And then I think he's just very clever, and he will be very clever about what he's gonna do about it.
He's a bit of a loose cannon. Puts bums on seats, as they say in the classics. And you want that kind of a guy, that maverick, in the finals. When you've got to come up with something, you want someone who can think on their feet, and that would be there. But by the same token, these guys scrimmage against each other all the time.
They're part of the same clan.
They
of
are.
course.
They get on Discord. They're all talking on voice chat, giving each other heaps all the time. There's a real spirit of camaraderie here, and they would, if anyone was going to know what the other guy was thinking, it'd be these guys.
Yeah, but if you look through the history of Cobras in the purple, there was a feud clan for Pramo, but I think they're on par.
They are on par, no doubt.
Exactly.
The Purple Cobras, they were within a whisker of being chosen to go to Minsk. They lost the last 2 games after being up 2-1 in the NA finals. And the winner of that goes to Minsk for the World Finals. They were within an absolute whisker of that. There was literally tank on tank at the end of one of those games. If they hit that shot, they're through. Didn't happen. They'd be a bit devout about that, but they've got a chance at redemption here.
No longer the redheaded stepchildren.
That's exactly
in that
right.
clan community
No,
are the
no,
Cobras. As you see the build-outs, anything standing out so far, gentlemen?
Mouse is on one side. Maxi, the Cobras have got 2 mouses. Nothing in the mouse in the house from the Love Us More team, which is a real surprise. It's all Russian heavies.
Yes, Love Us More went mobile. The things that I think they're going to beat on speed.
You think there might be a push?
I think they will be pushing the A cap.
Wow, that is a big call. Let's see how close you are.
So here
you
we
want to put a
go.
5 on it?
I think they're going to push the A cap.
Okay.
I just look at the mobility.
Look,
they're turning around.
time will tell. And here we go, underway in the first game of our best of 5 losers bracket elimination semis between Cobras and Love Us More, boys.
Now, C cap, Maxi, we've got the Cobras pushing up towards C, but they're diversifying. They're across a lot of different pies. A-cap, we only have one really strong contestant for the A-cap. Now, it should be noted, if you are an A-cap and you are doing the business, you are very, very visible. So there's 2 tanks there from the Purple Cobras pushing down towards A, and absolutely no one in there. What's going on down at that A-cap? You did say that Love Us More were going to push A.
I don't know what happened.
Well, okay, well, it's happening now.
It's happening. It's happening. They're pushing. They're just taking their time.
It won't happen overnight, but it will happen.
But the
They're
danger of
taking
that
their
A-cap,
time.
as you mentioned, guys, you can get caught with your treads around your ankles.
You sure? Yeah, that's right. I like that. You sure can, but they're now going for the double cap, strat B and C. And you look at this. We're 1 minute into the game, and already we have our first big isolation moment. FedEx is getting pumped in the bat chat. The Object 268 of numbers is there on the hill, though. And he is looking to give a little bit of cover as FedEx pulls back. He's on the reload. As soon as he reloads, no, he's pulled right back now. They're rethinking. They're changing their strat. They're coming up through the bottom, Maxi. They're pushing through A.
Yeah, and they're flanking. They're coming around the backside.
They're going to pincer. They're going to pincer.
I told you they're going to go with speed. That's what they're doing. They
Goose
went
and
through A.
Maverick.
They're going to push B now.
Goose and Maverick. Over there on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see the 2 IS-7s of Goose and Maverick. They are the ones who are going to come under the pump. They have 2 caps. They are up on points. They are going to be absolutely under the hammer there, though.
But they are pushing.
IS-7s.
Look how fast they're going. They're not stopping.
Prodigy's in the B cap.
Yep.
Can they reset him? Yes, they can. Scumbag Juju with the reset on Prodigy. Prodigy on the M48. How many hit points is he willing to pay to get it?
Yeah, I think IS-4 is covering him as well. From this angle.
Juju capped him.
He did it. He did it.
He reset him again. Oh, so Prodigy's taken 2 hits.
Yeah, he's going to move a bit in the cover. He just need to come a bit to the left.
Here comes Maverick. Maverick's coming around. Juju's going to have to make way. He's reset him again. Oh, this is massive.
It's not working for
Disastrous
Love Us More. Not working out.
Prodigy just keeps hitting the button, think it's going to work, but every time he's about to cap that B cap, Juju's finished him. Oh, sit down, get out of here. Juju with a massive pump. Maverick and Naked coming around the corner. Oh, it's now looking very, very strong. They're in an excellent position, Snake.
Absolutely. They're
You've got to
leading
admire
the hit
Love Us,
points.
though, for trying. Going after
Yeah,
that
they
B-cap,
did.
but Juju just had the answer.
Oh, mate, they were set up for it. Oh, now Goose in real trouble in the mouse. They have to cover him. Oh, driver, sorry. They've covered him. They've gone forward. Wind Force is trying to get down there, and Goose is making himself a living shield in the IS-7. Here comes FedEx. He's pushing up
down
around.
goes the mouse.
Oh, don't go anywhere, folks. This is
2 on
absolutely
1.
still on the edge of the seats. Bro dude leg, he's very, very low in the E4. Oh, you saw the 900
that was
roll.
HG.
HG into the side of the back chat. Sit down. Bro dude leg's on a full. Oh, bounce
He's
into
still got
him.
a couple more, right?
He's got him, he's got
he
him.
got him.
Big, big shot. One left in the back chat. Does he go for a full reload or does he look to empty it out somewhere? He's got to get another shot in. He does in the Maverick. That's where it came from. And now Love Us More. The back chat's on a full reload.
They're going to finish that Maverick.
Maverick's
yeah,
down.
He's gone.
4 on 3. This is huge, but Goose has an awful lot of hit points. He's isolated. He's got 3 tanks on him. This FedEx in the back chat is having a huge game. Absolutely key. He's holding fire here. Goose is looking for the shot. That's why he's not fired yet. He's not even looking at the guys on his left. He's waiting. He's had to turn around now. He's given FedEx. He takes another hit.
And down goes Goose. As we've leveled things at 3 tanks apiece.
2 on 3 now.
Two on 3.
Just as I said
The
it.
back chat's on a full reload. He's going to look to put shots in the Naked. He's sitting there at the back still. Naked is not even looking at Tiger. And they win it on the
That's
cap
it.
points. I wasn't watching that. I was so excited.
Yeah. It was. Hang on, so who we have?
The battle was amazing there.
Big win there for the boys from Love Us More. No, sorry, for the Purple Cobras.
Purple Cobras.
So the first game going to Purple Cobras.
Absolutely crazy. Very, very cool. Very, very cool under pressure.
I don't understand why M48 was sitting in a cap and taking shot after shot. It was the wrong tank to be there.
Well, you know what I think? I think he thought that there was a chance that he could get that shot, get that cap done in the 15 seconds. Now, the IS-7, it fires about 4.5 shots a minute. It just is like a split second between the time the cap is taken and the IS-7 reloads.
He didn't have any support there. He was out there on his
Oh,
own.
he was on an island.
It was a
Out
solo
open.
mission, kamikaze style.
Yeah, but you know what? He would have got the call from the team captain there to do it.
Of course.
Yeah.
He wasn't going Ronin.
No, that has to be made abundantly clear. These guys aren't doing anything by accident. If they're getting pounded in the cap, it's because they've been told to go there.
Or Leroy!
Oh, this is great. Talking to my people here, Ali. I love it.
Good stuff there from Cobras, by the way. Like I mentioned, when they got that defeat handed to them early on, they really regrouped nicely against Eclipse. And here they are with that early 1-0 lead against Lovis. And right back to Castilla we go.
Bat Chat was very good there. That was the best Bat Chat game we've seen so far.
No, absolutely. It was actually, I think it was a key to the whole game here as well for them. You know what I mean? It was amazing gameplay, and he did everything right.
Yeah, it just unfortunately they didn't come up with the win, but that Bat Chat game there was excellent. You could see the mobility. You could also see the fragility when he got hit for 900 by that T110 E4. Wrecking ball.
Well, I think the guys from Love Us More, they were just a bit too slow.
Yeah, they were too slow. That A-cap was wide open for a long time.
And they just took their time to take it. And look, it didn't lose them. That didn't lose them the game.
No.
But, you know, it's compounding effect.
It's one of the beautiful things about World of Tanks Blitz that there is so much strategy involved, and whether or not you actually go for it or don't, it's picking that moment. And quite often these guys are just missing the edges. You can see Naked in the IS-7 is already in Strife Max. He's on 700 hit points. Very low, but they didn't muck around there. They got the Bat Chat to go straight away.
Yeah, absolutely.
You reckon they learned their lesson?
Yeah.
Definitely they have.
No mucking around whatsoever. No one in B-cap, but we've got the same move from Cobras. They're running the same strat.
It's exactly the same strat. Let's see what happens.
They weren't able to take B. The Love Us More boys did push up there, and they have the cap advantage. But Cobras are under that B cap. They've got 2 guys there in the IS-7s below. They're looking to push up, and they're making a move.
Ooh,
they're
Yeah,
advancing.
Cobras are chasing down that one unit there.
Yeah, who's that over there? Tiger, the Tiger, quick. Go to the water, Tiger.
Go to the water!
That's where you do your best work.
Get wet. Oh, here comes the
The OBJ
268.
268.
Yeah.
He's looking to get in front of him, but he's too late. And now he's isolated.
And Juju's got
It doesn't
Juju could
look
go down
Took
here
a
if this
big hit.
268.
Look at the reload. Big reload on that
Yeah.
big gun of the 268, and we're not seeing that now, but he's on a big reload. They are able to isolate him. Juju's gone in the IS-7. 5 on 6. It's awfully close. It's hot and heavy down there. That 268 is in a little bit of strife. He's at 865 hit points. Goose gets wrecked Who is that?
Oh, Lovus is looking real good
Lovus
here,
looking
boys.
strong
Very
here.
strong.
They don't take that early setback easy, and they are pushing hard in that corner. Look at the tanks, Maxi. They've really done that perfectly. Look at all of them.
It's also perfect timing. You know, they caught the MX on reload as well now.
And
And
they
know
made the
it.
adjustment. They didn't send Prodigy out there into that B cap to just be a
100%.
sacrificial lamb
Exactly,
this time.
and they've put all their tanks in one place at the right time.
And they're pushed, yeah.
And they've found that gun advantage. And these guys, if they get a gun advantage, they hammer it.
That's it.
Hammer it home.
That's
Big
it.
pop-up bender, ta-ta. Oh, yeah. You think these guys don't know each other well.
There was a lot of frosting on that cake, boys.
Look at it. He's talking behind his hand there, B Walker. He knows what's going on. I have to say, the spirit between all four teams is pretty bloody good.
So
They,
Cobras meet Mongoose as the
Cobra meets Mongoose.
as the love. You saw what I did there.
Yeah, I did.
watched some Animal Planet in my day. So Love Us More taking game number 2 to level the score at 1 apiece. And now, gentlemen, we are moving forward to a new map, Dead Rail. Maxi, what do you think?
Actually, Dead Rail, one of my favorite maps.
Yeah, you love it.
I love that map.
Big fan of that map.
It's
What do you like about it?
it's effectively, it's like any maps and blitz. It's kind of split into things, into parts. We have the high ground with one cap, then we have the low ground with one cap, and then we have one right in the middle
In the town area, yeah.
So it's a really good map, and there's so many strats around it. Most common we see is a team going up high,
Going up high, yeah.
taking the A cap. I think it's A cap.
You can
and
take the high ground and grab a cap.
So the C cap's
and
the
they're
top,
pushing down.
A cap's the bottom, and B's in the middle. And Maxi's a little bit more conservative. He wants me to take the hits. He starts screaming at me, Bushka,
It's
where
when
are
we
you?
play together.
Bushka, I can't help me, Bushka. Shoot this guy. Well, Max, I'm shooting the guy already. What are you doing? Get out of there.
You're behind me.
But that's what you want to do. You want to get up. You want to get that C cap. And if you get the C cap, you can control B.
Yes.
You can't do that so easily from A. Do you think there'll be any campers in this one? Anyone camping at the
No
back?
way. I can't see the camping.
I don't see-
They're going to push. Look, it's going to be the C and B strategy or A and B strategy.
Mate, there's Object 268s in every game. You wouldn't pick the tank that just got buffed, would you?
268.
268, and it's featuring. Oh, here we go. You can feel the pressure. Look at B Walker. He's not very animated, is he? He's just kind of
Stone cold.
1,000-yard
Very
stare.
focused.
Stone
very
cold killer.
focused.
He's got those big ham fists, mate. He breaks an iPad a week, they say. Oh,
Underestimates his own strength. So here
That's
we
right.
go. Game number 3, elimination semifinal in the losers bracket. Cobras and Love Us More.
I'm expecting one team to try and sneak the B cap. If they can get a B cap, that's a killer move on this map, Maxi. And look, Bellamore's there in the mouse. He's going town. That's where he does his best work.
By the way,
This-
they both got a unit headed
Yep.
towards C there.
They've
Oh,
sent
yeah.
the mouse to spot,
But I'll tell you
and
what,
they're pushing.
they could get isolated up the top there, the Cobras. They've got one unit at C who's going to be pushing with that bat chat, and they would fancy themselves.
They
and you
went
can see
C all in. Look,
there's a heavy. Cobras have got
the
a
way they're
heavy
back.
at the back. They're hoping to isolate that bat chat, and when he pushes back down on the M48 pattern of Goose to really finish him off. But this is an ID strat.
Oh,
It
look
is.
at all of the hit points
What?
sustained there on
That
the
is-
Love Us More
That's
side.
exactly. We called it. I'd like to say that I did call it, 100%.
you
The
sort
bat
of
chat, and they're about to know this is the comeuppance though. There will be a
That's it.
comeuppance, and
M48,
Goose is
yeah.
isolated.
and now they know where AMX is. They're going to try to catch him now.
AMX has to leave, and he is
Has-
saying
oh,
goodbye.
tracking
Thank
shot.
you, mother, for the rabbits. I'm out the door, and he's retracked again, and he's
And
on fire.
fire,
Oh,
and
and he's
he got
running.
stuck.
Panic at the disco. He's run into it. It's all. Look at this. Turn.
It's all over
Reload.
for AMX.
Ta-ta.
Yeah.
Big blue laser beam. We thought that might happen. They got isolated.
There you go. They took the high ground.
Early
and then
advantage
rolled
to
down.
Love Us More here, gentlemen.
Absolutely. You think Love Us More would be looking very, very strong here. Now,
But
Juju.
the caps on Cobra's side, that's their
Juju,
strat. as they're
Prodigy's
going
going to
for
give
B.
up hit points here. He just wants to get in there and stop that cap. They're trying to stop Juju. This is an exact reverse, but they can't do it. They have to now hold that cap and try and claw back a one-tank loss.
There's a push coming around.
Mate, they've got that extra tank and they're making use of it. I love this. They're not
Yeah.
mucking around.
No, they just want to kill them all, mate.
The
That's kill them
paint
all
is not
strategy.
going to dry here. They're going to clear Juju. They want to clear him. They do. What a great strat. Brilliant tanking there.
Absolutely.
But look at Walker stalking that B cap right there.
Yeah,
in the mouse.
B Walker's there in the mouse, but it doesn't have the firepower. The 268 does though there, and he's going to need an ammo rack. They've got to take a tank out here. They have. They've managed to get numbers. Oh, the 268 is looking right into the back door of Prodigy. He's on a reload. Prodigy's like, no thanks, I'll buy mine somewhere else, and he's leaving.
Vapors. He's got it in reverse. The
Bail,
clutch
bail,
is
bail.
out.
Railway, mate, he is in big strife. There we go, 3-on-3. This is top shelf tanking justice.
Absolutely.
The Object 268, who's the next target? They're called one. They've got to call one. They've all got to focus one target here. They're at 6s and 7s. No one is really focused in. They can't get the mouse. They're looking at isolating the 268. They are. They're going to have to pay a price. That tank will wreck. Anyone that gets in front of it is going to take a big bit of damage. The guys from Cobras really didn't muck around there. They isolated a tank. They picked a tank to kill, and they all went in. The Bro Dude leg and the 268 was the bait, and they are going to finish off here. They are looking very strong.
Run object.
Bro Dude leg's
Run
out
object.
of there. I'm out of there. Look at the mouse. I ate some pies for dinner.
Are we going to get a rum
How
kill?
about you, Win
Are we going to
Force?
get a rum kill?
Oh, very close. Love us more coming back right down into the B cap. They look like they're on top, Maxi.
It looked really good for them up until very last moment, isn't it? And this guy, Cobra, just pulled it back right in.
Oh, wow.
Amazing gameplay.
Now, wow. So Purple Cobra's pulling out a big win there over Love Us More.
Yeah, it's 2-1.
Thumbs up, thumbs up. That
Well,
young
let's
hippie.
not breathe easy just yet. It is
No.
a best of 5, not a best
Look at the
of
Russian.
3.
Look at the Russian in the middle at the top. You can know him by his hair. He's got my hairstyle. He's very animated. That was amazing. I thought that was a really good game.
I like the strat. You know, I like them to go high. You know, isolating 2 tanks, kill them all. I know the guys from Lava Small tried to recover. It was very close. Actually, it was right on the edge there.
Yep.
And Cobra just managed to pull it off.
Yeah. A lot closer than the final result.
Ah, absolutely amazing gameplay.
If
Really.
Lovus would have managed to clear the tanks, then that big disparity we saw in the points up top wouldn't have mattered
at all.
whatsoever. They
Absolutely.
were kind of chasing the kill strat as opposed to the cap strat there.
Well, the big play there for me was you saw that they focus fired so effectively, the guys from Cobra, whereas Love Us More, you could see they were turret turning at one point.
Yeah.
They were waiting for the call. Which tank are we going to go for? And when they finally decided the 268, it was too late. The other 2 tanks were around
Their
and
mouse
they
came
focused.
behind. Yep. Absolutely.
They focused, and that's where the game was lost, really.
Yep.
They
Yep.
had the edge up until then.
And it can be a matter of seconds. You know,
Absolutely.
that sort of that moment of apprehension, that moment of freezing for a caller as things take shape in
Yep.
real time on the battlefield can be the difference.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And when they call the tank, it literally, it's just all guns on the tank. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You drop everything. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who's
Doesn't
shooting
matter
at
who
you.
you're shooting at.
You just drive and try to kill the tank that
You might not agree with the call, but you do it because that's what the caller says. Unless you're in our clan, and then Maxi says, no, I've got a target over here, and Sham
And
says,
then
I've got a
everyone
target
runs.
somewhere, and then you all have an argument and leave the clan, and you're growing men. Anyway.
And boys, I hate to break it to you, but it looks like the check didn't clear on the power bill, so we've actually lost juice to our handsets and our tablets there,
Oh, my
and the
God.
comms are actually what's being affected, and so obviously you can't have 7 people who can't talk to each other out there. That would just be all-out blitzkrieg.
Absolutely. So is the last win going to stand? That was okay?
Well, we're going to reboot now. Yeah, last win stands.
Last win stands.
So 2-win edge to Cobras, as we see Scumbag there.
Look at him. What an athlete. Look at the chat. Look at the chat between these 2 teams. There's so much
talking a
banter
little
going
smack
on.
across the
Oh,
aisle
there's
there.
so much smack.
It's like
ridiculous.
Congress.
Yeah, but these guys, they love each other, but they really hate each other.
Yeah,
They really
absolutely.
love each other.
Love, hate.
Look at this. The Russian in the middle at the back. Look, he's got all the talk. Juju,
I like it.
the EMT,
He's
is
just
a
brushing
good man.
it off.
Oh, good stuff.
You got to remember, these guys play day in, day out together. They are a tournament clan. They're one of the very few tournament clans in the world. They don't muck around. They don't just make a win rate choice. You've got to be really good to get in here, all that. That's not important. The discipline, the ability to play, that is where it comes
And
in.
execute.
And
Exactly.
execute, exactly. That's how they pick their teams. They get in there, they scrimmage, and they do it together. So all these guys are constantly in voice chat, although they're from all different parts of the states. They're in voice chat day in, day out.
And there's a look at the 7 serpents that make up the Purple
Oh,
Cobras right
look
there
at
as our
that.
Red Bull roster.
Scumbag Juju, B Walker, the Big Goose, the Big Mav, the Naked.
Naked, that's how you said it. I was
The
wondering,
naked.
naked or naked.
And now the Red Bull roster for Love Us More.
Oh, Prodigy, the Big Bell, Windforce, Big Papa Bender. Numbers, that's 72843. That's it. Tiger, FedEx, Tom. You might be calling him Tigray, but apparently he responds only to Tiger. They're a lovely bunch of humans.
Did you call the numbers?
No, I'm sick of calling his name by numbers. First tournament they had, I read his name out properly every time. I lost my voice by the
Are
end of
you
it.
kidding me?
Oh,
That's not in the
he actually
contract.
did.
I think he did it on purpose.
It's a good name.
Yep. I'm a bit disappointed. I reckon and said he was going to keybind some stuff so that he could constantly say things about me during the game and they go broadcast live.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Not yet. He might be saving it in case they get through to the finals and they have some joy there.
And here's a top-down view of Dead Rail, which is where we'll be right back to as we head to the fourth game of this semifinal losers bracket elimination match. And gentlemen, what was the story in that last game? It was the battle for B?
Yeah, the battle for B, it was the trap that they set up as well up the top. The guys from Purple set a trap. They had that 48 and the AMX-50B at the back, the Clipper. And as we expected, they drew the Batchat down and they wiped him. The only problem with that, he had 4 mates there behind him who immediately came down and wiped him.
They were pretty vindictive little tanks.
Yeah, they weren't too happy with the result. So it was a bad trade-off for Purple, and I'm kind of surprised they pulled it back.
Look, the C cap is paramount on this map. Like C controls B.
It does. C
Right?
controls B.
If you put your strategy around capturing A, well, what you're going to achieve? You have to fight back up into B.
Yeah, and you're going to have to abandon A unless you want to just take a tank out of play in order to get down and actually contest the other 2 caps, because you know you're not going to be able to win it with A alone, and the tanks back there are not going to be able to inflict the damage necessary to get yourself to that 1,000 threshold.
The thing we've really seen tournament-wise here is that if you go C-cap, you have to go C-cap. You can't just
You commit to it.
You're not a little bit pregnant, mate. You are all the way up to C-cap, and you're getting C-cap, or you're losing any tank you send there.
Yeah,
that's it. And the A cap is just a bonus cap. You know what I mean? If things didn't work out and some light tank and medium tank got in there, capped it.
What's
great.
interesting is I think there is a natural temptation to have a balanced approach. But if you don't commit adequately to the one side or the other of that balance, you're not going to achieve anything. You're going to spread your units out. You're going to be in a spot where you're going to get exploited, and that's exactly what we saw.
And Dead Rail is the king for that, because you saw when that AMX-50B was fleeing for his life, he's run into the trade track and run into the low-slung car, because they're all the way along there. They're not friendly. They move very quickly. They get in your way. And that's the real problem. If you get stuck on that side of the rails, you are very, very alone. It's it's an all-me island. It's not a lot of fun.
You start hearing the crickets.
Yeah, and he was panicking big time there. That was great.
He
fun.
was. Look, I actually predicting. I predicting they're going to push C-cap heavily from both sides now. There is no way they're going to leave 2 tanks hanging again.
I don't know who's buying dinner tonight, because you've been wrong once, I've been wrong once. This could be the key, mate. I'll put dinner on this one.
Remember that previous games, and ID did a massive push on C-cap.
Were you saying C-cap?
I'm saying
I'm
saying C-cap push.
Here we go.
This is for dinner, boys and girls.
Oh, I'm wrong already.
Oh, you're absolutely.
I'm totally wrong.
I'm having lobster, Maxi.
Lobster tail, yeah.
If Cobra pulls this out, they are going to head to the finals.
It's A-B strat by the look of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And interestingly enough, though, Goose looks like he's going to be up the top there. Now, he doesn't know. Oh, look, he's seen. Someone has spotted Love Us More up, and there is 5 tanks spotted.
And you can see straight away.
Straight away, he knows it's free.
He knows
it's free.
They're going hard for C.
Yeah, so they're going to get C. They're going hard for 3. Oh, they're going to get pumped down at A. If the boys from Love Us More can see that A cap, this is trouble, boys.
Yep. And then you're going to have shots down into the B for anything that gets spotted into the B.
Yeah. No, look, they're going to go for B. Love Us More going for B. Love Us More going for A. Oh, they know that if someone is in C, they are a tank down and they're trying to exploit. Look at the lava camo going off there, rocking this summer's styling. 3 IS7s looking very, very swish. That is not where you want to be if you are the Purple Cobras. They don't have a lot of support.
Now they need to pull back, and they need to let the 268 to have shots
Look
down.
at Naked. Naked's trying to push across the top.
Oh, that's
he's
a bold move.
And he's ice. Look at
Look at that Batchat.
They're all turning the Batchat. He's the call. The Batchat is the call. Finish him. Sweep the leg, Johnny. Oh, Naked's gone. They're 1 gun down. The Batchat's still alive.
FedEx desperately trying to clean the line. No, it's over.
This is it, mate. They are in strife here. Love Us More are in all kinds of trouble. They've been trapped in the middle. They were a little bit hesitant, and they've been absolutely punished for it.
Yeah, they got pushed from both ends. That's it. And they got stuck in the city.
As soon as that C cap went off, they should have been pumping right down there,
Yeah.
but they waited, and now all the guys from the Cobras are down there. I don't want to say it too early, Max, but it looks like the Cobras have got this one in the bag.
No, they've played it amazingly well. They've played it well. Good call, good timing. They've done everything right here.
Big tank choice decision there. The Batchat never went the top.
And, well, Batchas that try come down and try to fight the mouse. You know
Why
what I mean?
why run a Batchat in the game if you're not going to go see?
Bellamore, it's time to reach for the morphine, my friend.
Yeah, I don't understand why Batchas
Sending
didn't go
him
up.
straight to the garage. Ta-ta!
Yeah.
That's all she wrote. Great
Well
game
done.
there.
Well done, Cobras.
3-1
Cobras.
victory for Cobras in this losers bracket semifinal elimination, as they don't even allow us to take a peek at Canyon. They are going to be moving into the finals. They are guaranteed $3,000 in prize money for at least a second place finish, as Love Us More is eliminated in third, picking up $1,000 for their effort. Just enough to pay for self-parking here in Las Vegas.
Ali, I'd really love to know. I'd really love to ask the leader of Love Us More exactly what the strat was with that Batchat.
Was it last game?
Because the Batchat didn't go to C. What was the Batchat's role in that game? It might have been a spotter's role maybe, but why was the Batchat not... Did you want the Batchat to press C?
Yeah.
But you know what the unfortunate reality is? That when you lose, you don't get a date with Maria Ho.
That-
So we don't ask you
really?
anything.
What a shame.
But I think that is the big question looming
Yeah.
over that particular
Yeah,
game
yeah.
is what was the thought? And that moment of apprehension there, when they were at the cap, they just hesitated, and that was it. I feel
That was
like
it.
at that moment it was the turning
It
point.
was a very bold strategy to send that M48 pattern up, Goose to the C cap. If Maria had any chance to ask about whose call that was, that M48 to go to C, because that was the game winner.
Yeah, it definitely was. Everything was spotted. You know,
Yeah,
the
as soon
C-cap
as the
was
spotting
open.
went down, this
That's
he
it.
was- he was
He
straight.
went straight in.
That
Yeah.
gave him the edge early on.
Really big edge. That gave them the cap. They then just diversified around the bottom, and when they pushed around into that A and
They
B
just
area,
trapped them in the middle.
bang, smashed them.
Yeah, it worked out really nicely as Love Us More played right into Cobra's hands, and there's no doubt Cobra will be loving them for it.
And we get a rematch.
As we-
This is a big grudge match coming up.
Oh, yeah, for the net. Well, we'll get to that as we look at
Big
the
grudge
brackets
match.
right now, courtesy of Amazon Fire. I think we have those coming up in a moment. It's going to be Cobras out of the losers bracket and facing off against Hate Us More, the very same team that sent them into that lower bracket, the losers, to start things off. So we'll await that final. But in the meantime, we're going to send it down to Maria Ho, who's hanging out with some serpents.
So as I was talking to you, you said that there were some micro battles and some calls made in-game that you think really was the difference in the games that you guys played against them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those. It's kind of a weird map on Dead Rail where you have to shift the tanks. If they push one side, you need to push the strong side or counteract that. And we had some good battles at B, and I felt like as they were pushing over A, that we could overtake B and push down onto them as well. And that seemed to be the right call. And the guys focused their fire. We had good talk, and just happened to work out for us this game. So.
Well, congratulations for advancing to the finals, but you guys are going to run it back and rematch against Hate Us More. Yep. How do you feel about that matchup now?
This is number 1 and 2 teams in North America, so this is kind of what we expected and where we expected, not necessarily expected to be, but this is the matchup we were looking for. So just going to play it out like we always do and try to keep the teamwork up and the focus fire going.
All right, well, it seems to be working so far. Good luck.
Thank you.
You know,
Scumbag's going to have an opportunity to lead his Cobras into that sweet dish of revenge in the finals. And we are certainly eagerly awaiting that match. What better time to step aside, however, and when we return, it will be Cobras against Hate Us More in the finals from the Mobile Masters here in Las Vegas. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so a reset.
so do we have time to go to the loop?
Top of show reset, yeah. Vegas is known for glitz and glamour, but today it's also known for gaming. The action has been fast, furious, and even a little funny at times. But in Vegas, Lady Luck either loves you or abandons you. From 40 million players worldwide, the best 4 teams were summoned to Sin City, and now only 2 remain. To be victorious, they will have to outthink, outmaneuver, and outfight their opponents, and only then can they be called champions. Mobile Masters presents World of Tanks Blitz. Sports here in Las Vegas for the Mobile Masters 2017 World of Tanks Blitz. It is time for the finals. Teams are bloodied, they are bruised, but they are battle tested, and they have made their way to the finals by virtue of a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket. Ali Najad alongside Snake Eyes and Bushka, bringing you this incredible action that has whittled its way down to the same 2 teams, the top 2 in North America that battled for that Twister Cup. And what a chance this is here for Cobras, coming out of the loser's bracket after having been sent down there by Hate Us More to avenge that. And in that moment, they're going to have to win not once, but twice. Because if they beat Hate Us More here in this best-of-5 matchup, that'll be Hate Us More's first loss, and it is a double elimination tournament. So this is really going to be a chance to redeem themselves in a real way. As we look at the brackets, Hate Us More coming straight down the top into the finals. Cobra's getting sent down and then beating out Love Us More. And before that, Eclipse to punch their ticket into this. And gentlemen, given everything that we have seen from each of these teams, who do we tip the advantage to?
You'd have to go with Hate Us More. It's a grudge match, though. This is the big grudge match of American
Massive.
Tanking.
The biggest.
These guys in the Twister Cup, the Cobras won the first one, and then Hate Us More won the second one. Here, Hate Us More have won the first one. Second time out.
I don't know. I just like Cobra strategies. They're
I do
very
too.
creative.
I do
Very
too.
creative.
They've shown us things that other teams haven't. And
Yeah.
yes, I understand creativity isn't everything, but
And it sure as hell didn't win the first one. So
It didn't, but they've regrouped.
they've regrouped. They may.
they look better.
they
And
may
since
look-
that first match, they've looked much, much better. As we bring
They do.
out the teams, and the first to head into the arena will be Hate Us More. And they are certainly hated by the folks who are going to be across the aisle. Granted, they're all part of that same clan, but Purple, not exactly the A tier, not Pramo. They
Ooh,
feed
they wouldn't
in.
like hearing that.
Well, listen, gameplay has certainly said otherwise. But as
Yeah.
we know, Purple feeds into Pramo. Right now, this is the chance to say, hey, we are no longer the whipping children. We are legit on our own right. And I love that storyline.
It's a big storyline, and to me, the big storyline here, though, is going to be Scumbag Juju and Mike 8. Now, they're the 2 prospective callers for these teams. So these are the guys that make the big decisions. They choose the targets. They choose the push. They choose the pull. And they're 2 of the best in the business. They make no mistakes about it. In the whole world of tanking, it would be hard to find someone who has put more time into the game than Mike 8, into the strategy. And Juju's just a loose cannon. He could do anything.
He's a fun guy, though.
but he's not reckless. Let's
He's not
be fair.
reckless.
He's not a reckless tiger.
He's not a reckless one, but I wouldn't go that far. I played a lot of games with Juju myself, and he's a hell of a tanker, and he makes some really on-the-move decisions that are just glorious. He reads the game better than just about anyone I've ever played with. But Mike 8, he is very much the doyen of tanking. He's the thinker. He's got strats, he's got counter strats, and we saw that in the first couple of rounds. They got through more on craft than just pure skill.
And they are going to be forced to play on a new map, as we are going to head to Mayan Ruins for the first 2 games. The following 2 will be Himmelsdorf if we need a 4th, and then if we have to go to that 5th and deciding game, it will be at Vineyards. But let's take a look top down at Mayan Ruins, and what are the features, Snake, that this map is known for?
Okay, this is a fairly new map in Blitz. It's been around probably for about 3 to 4, maybe 5 months. And this is the map where you want to have the gun depression if you're going down towards the C cap, or you want to have your heavy armor pushing hard if you're fighting for A and B.
C's lonely cap, mate. That's a lonely cap.
It's a lucky cap. It's effectively the A cap from the, from like a dead rail map. For example.
But if you get to C and you're alone, there is no one coming to help you. You are done.
It's way down. I agree.
It's going to be the battle of the two bat chats and speed down
That's
to sea.
exactly.
But as a bat chat, probably, Cap.
I'm going to be interested to see, Maxi, the tanks as they roll out here. You can see 2 bat chats. Now, bat chats are the fastest tanks in this game at Tier 10. You're rolling around about 65 kilometers an hour. They could get to sea very, very quickly.
If they both get to sea, we're going to see some very good auto-loader performance, gameplay.
So here we are in the draft, gentlemen, as tanks are being locked in by both teams in the first game of our best of 5. And of course, as you've mentioned, there are the heavy armor tanks, the heavy damage inflicting tanks. There are those mid versatile tanks like the IS-7, which so many teams favor, though I don't see any of them right now on the left side here at Mayan Ruins. And then there are the lightweights, the bat chats.
The guys from Cobra love rolling out clippers, autoloaders, but I'd be surprised if they don't change up their tanks, and they are. You can see them. Look, they're all changing. Sneaky grubs.
Yeah.
Look at them. They're changing up now, the big boys.
Yeah, but if you notice, they're going with
the
M48.
IS-7.
They're going with M48. They're going with a gun depression. They're going to be sent to sea.
Yeah, I think you might be right there.
Yeah.
If he goes to sea alone, though, anything could happen.
They might not go right into sea, but I think they're just going to hang out around the bridge.
Yeah. Look, the guys, I'll tell you what, if there is anyone that's going to take advantage of a mismatch, it's Cobra. The Purple Cobras, they are renowned for their ability to be very, very lightning fast with their calls and their strats. More conservative and more fixed positions. You're looking at the guys on the left-hand side of the screen, the Pramo boys, hate us more. And it's almost like that natural kid versus the guy who just does all the training.
A professor.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why it's a lot of fun. There's so much nuance to this game. The boys on the right-hand side, they're Juju and the fellas, they are wild cards.
So here we go, gentlemen. Game 1 in the best of 5. Hate Us More and Cobras in this grudge match, the finals.
Well, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough to be doing it too today, we're doing it with this bunch, and they are hot and heavy at the top, Maxi, straight away.
So what do we see here? We see the town strategy, obviously, but we also see a bit of a sea.
Now, I'll let you in a little trade secret. When I've played with Juju in the past, and I didn't tell anyone from Premo this, but he has always said that when we play this map in tournaments, we go B, and we kind of look around, and then we will flex from there. And you are seeing exactly that.
So they're flexing towards C.
Yeah, look at that. They've gone B. They've all gone B the middle. They've looked at what's happening, and then they've snuck off down to the left, and they're going to C.
Yeah, Cobras looks like they're going to have that C-cap strategy, and of course, it's a blend of both the damage and the points you earn from that, as well as capturing the caps, as we call them, A, B, and C, that gets you to that 1,000-point threshold necessary to claim victory.
This is a massive move here from Raikkonen. He has gone low into B cap. He's got a lot of cover. If they want to stop him from capping B, they're going to have to sacrifice hit points. You can see APT driver, he's hitting with HG.
He's resetting.
Oh, they're resetting.
He's taking hits from both sides.
Oh, he's clipping out. They've got the Maverick and the 50B. He's got 1 shot left. Oh, he got hit for 766 in the side. Massive shot, HG for the E4 of Odd Leg, of Pro Dude Leg. Wow, Raikkonen's on 446. 101 for the AMX 50B. He's combating effectively.
He's holding tight, though.
It's all happening down here. APT driver. He sacrificed hit points to reset again, but it wasn't enough. And they've got A and B now. They're ahead on points, and they're going to go up on tanks.
And there's the mouse, mate. That's it.
They're 2 down, 2 tanks down. Cobras, they've tried to be really sneaky and flexy and reset that cap. Raikkonen has run it to an absolutely perfect point. 111 hit points, and he's got ammo rack damage too there, you can see on the screen. So he's got very, very little hit point output.
Well, he's done his job.
Oh, they've got their first hit back. Oh, no, they haven't. It's down again.
No, that's Cobra's coming. That's,
yeah, Cobras, this is
not look
well
good.
in the bag for the fixed positions boys of I Hate Us More. But there's a very, very low hit point tanks there, Maxi. T110A4, the IS-7, the T57 Heavy.
They've locked A and B. They've locked A and B.
They are not out of the woods here yet, Max, though. 730 versus 370. They're well behind on cap points. You can see at the top of the screen there. They've got to do something.
Cobras needs to regroup. They can't just keep pushing against 2 mouses there.
As long as the boys from Hate Us More don't make a mistake, as long as they don't stick their neck out, the Cobras are going to have to make a bit of magic happen to actually get this game in the bag.
And the issue is, in order for them to equalize and be at 4 tanks apiece, they're going to have to target Fishy and Raikkonen, who no doubt are taking cover behind the other tanks.
They need to kill Raikkonen. He's a low health. And they need to kill E4 if they can.
Are doing an amazing job of sharing the hit point pool. They've got low hit point tanks, but they're not seen.
They got rid of Raikkonen now.
Yeah, Raikkonen's down. He was always going to go, but he had long enough to get there, and they've had to sacrifice to get him. Yeah, no good, no good.
No good.
But look at Fishy up there at the top of the screen, just hanging back with plenty of cover.
Pushed it out on points. Just really good, solid tactical play there from the Premo boys.
So game one going to hate us more. And Cobras won't like that, as they are going to start out behind the 8-ball, down 1-0 as we head right back into the draft. What sort of composition changes do you think Cobras should make, if any, as we're still here at Mayan Ruins?
Mate, I don't think they should change any tanks. They just got to play better. That was a mistake. I Raikkonen went for that cap. They should have sent someone into the cap first.
Yep.
They didn't. Premo took the advantage, and when they tried to reset the cap, he got wrecked, that AMX 50B.
Snake, it looked a lot like B was going to stand for blood, as both teams was headed straight for that center cap. And then suddenly, as they evaluated things, as you mentioned is so prevalent on this particular newish map, they then surveyed the scene and headed elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Raikkonen, his AS7, he was in the right position. He logged the cap. He went hold down. So they did have HE shots at him, but really they couldn't really get him out of that cap in time.
Yeah, they reset it once, but he went too hard. He went for too big a bite at the cherry.
Just flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, the Icarus of tanking. Oh, look at him, the 1,000-yard stare there of Concept at the front. He's ready, he's locked, he's loaded. We're off again.
Yes, game two of the best of 5 with Hate Us More up 1-0 over Cobras.
Now let's see if they do it again, Maxi. They're pushing towards B. This is what they do. They push towards B.
They go B, and then they,
It's a read and react. They push towards B, they see who gets spotted, and then they make the call immediately. So they're not really easy to tell. Like, you can't stack the deck against them very easily.
Look at Hate Us More, though, hanging back a little bit more so than Cobras are here.
Hate Us More, I think, they're sending the heavy cavalry to A.
No one's going C here. There's an opportunity for someone to sneak C cap.
And there you see right away.
Yeah, they've got it down.
They're at B as soon as they realize that they're out here alone.
The M48 pattern, as soon as you see all the guys on the right-hand side, the light bulbs will pop when they get spotted. As soon as all those light bulbs get off,
you'll see him judging off to B.
Yeah, player will charge off and cap C. And he's the guy there on the left of screen in the M48 pattern. We've got 3 spotted. He can take a chance anytime now. Oh, App's driver got absolutely sat down there. Now, these guys are side-scraping there. They're only showing the strong part of their armor profile. You can see they're all
using each other to do that.
tacking into the wind there, edging their tanks in, angling up, making their tanks harder to penetrate. He's still not going to see Maxi.
But there's a flanking coming up. Look at this.
He's giving up on the cap. They're going for the kill win here. They are flanking around, and they've isolated the Cobras down the bottom. The T110E4 of Bro Dude Leg is going to be pushed on very hard by 2 tanks in a second.
They're bleeding the hit points there as well.
Bleeding, they're hemorrhaging.
But then now, now the massive
big push. Here it comes. Guns to face. Concepts on 120. Concepts out of there. Scumbag Juju's out of there. It's all happening here up the top. Numbers is in strife. App driver in the E100. It happens, and it happens fast.
They did not see that MX-50B at the bottom,
no,
fully loaded.
And then you got 3 in. Raikkonen. He's on a near reload. The next shot takes him. He's gone. Oh, but then the AMX 50B down. It's 4 on 5. Oh, and they're making it tell. That early strat. Jeez, Hate Us More.
Down goes River.
Oh, Hate Us More. The quality rises to the top.
Oh.
This is the 1 and 2 teams in North America, and this is why Hate Us More were #1.
Absolutely. Very, very good gameplay here.
Yeah, they've been able to read that perfectly. They've moved perfectly. They didn't even touch C, Maxi. That's why we're commentators and they're players.
Exactly. That's why we're not with them.
Those who can play and those who can't, well, they don't even teach. They just get it wrong. Oh, and it's all over here for the boys from Purple. Goose holding up tough stickers at the end, mate. He's got it written all over him, tattooed. I will go hard. Yeah, he's down. He's the man
And Lovis really, they took a chance here. Obviously, it wasn't a cap strat that was going to be employed, and they pivoted and went all out, and it did not pay off. So now we've seen 2 different approaches from the Cobras, and it's left them down 2-0 as we draw the curtain on that second game. It was decided pretty early on.
You can see they're just not going and being too effusive about it. The guys from the Hate Us More team, they're smiling Mike 8. You won't see a lot of smiles out of him normally, but I told you at the start, I think they've just got the craft.
Yep.
They are so good at their strats, and Mike has all these interlocking fields of fire going on, and they've just let the guys from Cobras use their natural tendencies to be aggressive against them.
And they trapped them right there.
Yeah, every time.
AMX 50B, and then got flanked, and that's it. That was the rest of the story. They lost all their health points.
So we are back, and it is Game 3 between Hate Us More and Cobras here in the finals. If Hate Us More manages to win this game on the Himmelsdorf map, the new map, they will be your Mobile Masters champions. Cobra needs to rattle off 3 straight games, gentlemen, and based on what we've seen in the first 2 games, my sense is it ain't happening.
No.
Well, it's a different map. It's a different map.
Same teams, mate, and the same teams. Mate, that's, what's that now? 4 games in a row, Hate Us More has beaten Purple, the Cobras. They've beaten them in the last 4 games they've played.
Okay, the first game here, Bush, it was a matter of execution.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
second game, it was a matter of being outclassed, I'd
Yep.
say, because genuinely
Absolutely.
they did try to fluster the opposition, and
Yep.
Hate Us More just read, reacted, adapted, and bested them at their own game. And so here we are in game number 3. We're taking a look at the comp. We're taking a look at the map. It's a new map. What are we going to see?
You're going to see aggression. These guys from the Cobras, I don't think they know any other way to play, and going back into the pocket now would be a mistake. It would be going against their tendencies. They do very, very well on maps where they get to focus fire, where they get to read one target and hammer it down.
And is that what Himmelsdorf provides?
That is exactly what it provides. It is corridor tanking. It's a flat map. There's no hills. There's no fancy pants. It is front of house. Get out there and bash them tanking.
Find the sight line and focus in. And this is where the caller is even more important.
Exactly. And Scumbag is right there at the front line. B Walker in the mouse, that's the kind of style he plays. They are down on cap already, so they're going to get A cap. I was surprised last map we didn't see anyone go C cap, but this is playing into the hands. I'm really surprised here. Purple are pushing down this line, but Hate Us More have got all the sight fire.
Their flank is open.
Their flank is open. There's 5 tanks there from Cobra. They're looking for an isolated tank. Mike 8 could be that one,
But they're not pushing again. They're
not
just
pushing.
sitting there.
They're not pushing. Raikkonen's is
Now the
visible.
push coming.
We've already lost Naked from Purple. This is a really strange strat for me.
It is. They all got stuck in the middle. That's it.
Yeah, why are all the fish in one barrel
Yeah,
here,
it's
gentlemen?
crazy because none of these guys can use their guns. They've got big tanks, they've got lots of hit points, but you can only use your gun if you can see them. And until this very moment, they have not had a chance. And this is too late for me. Too many tanks, too many hit points. It's all well and good isolating here, but if you've got 5 monster tanks, you've got to use them in a monster way.
Yeah, like a big iron fist, and it just didn't happen. They stopped, they choked, and they
they're
got
going to
flanked.
regret this one immensely. They had the
Guys,
tanks.
This A-cap turned into a funeral pyre.
This is absolutely crazy. I thought we'd get so much more out of Cobras. They're going to be kicking themselves after this. I'd love to know what was on their mind when they went for a very soft strat down this right-hand side.
They did not push. They stopped. That was a big mistake.
Yeah, Scumbag Juju, there's 3 of them left, but there is not a tank down. That was perfect play again. I mean, it was just impeccable play. As much as we want to say Cobras made a mistake, how about we just say that Hate Us More did it right.
They read it. They understood what they were trying to do, and they, capitalized on
They
it.
did. They saw an isolation.
Yep.
They focus fired. They smashed, and none of these guns were in the game. It's all well and good having these big tanks, but unless they've got a target, they are absolutely
They were not
pointless.
shooting at anything.
And it's very, very symbolic here. The spiritual leader, Scumbag Juju. This is his final. He's not going to go home empty-handed. They do get a guaranteed prize person coming second.
I tell you what, if I was Juju, I would have popped the hatch and done it nobly. Pull out the sword, threw all the organs. Seppuku, don't let them team up. Don't give them the dignity.
Well done, boys.
A clean sweep in this best of 5 by Hate Us More, who are your 2017 Mobile Masters Las Vegas champions.
Incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible.
Amazing.
And
Amazing gameplay.
You're buying dinner, mate, because I told you they were going to win.
I don't
Man,
know. I just like the color
disappointed.
purple.
Snake,
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
with you.
disappointed.
I thought they were going to be a little bit more effective, that creativity would have flustered Hate Us More a little bit more than it did, and clearly just took it all in stride no matter what Cobras tried to do. It never even came close.
Very surprised.
It's a surprise that it wasn't closer, but at the same time, they are the best team in North America for a reason. They were at the Twister Cup last year, and they've won it consecutively. So they've won the Twister Cup 2 years in a row, Twister Cup North America 2 years in a row, and they're going to the finals this year again. They're there for a reason.
Yes,
it's not an
the
accident.
best team won. You know,
They're
the
there
best team
for
won.
they're there for 5,000.
That's exactly what they're
gentlemen.
there.
Exactly.
Because that's what they're going to be taking home, courtesy of this victory as we look at our Mobile Masters tournament payouts, courtesy of Pete's Cold Brew. And I'll tell you what, it's a cold shower that Cobras are going to need.
Oh, yeah.
As Scumbag and the boys really shell-shocked there, need to figure out what to do. And before we send it down to Maria, gentlemen, if you are Scumbag and you are Cobras right here, they're shaking hands being good sports about it, this is going to rattle you to your core a little bit. Granted, they're the best team in North America. And granted, Pramo is sort of the big brother of Purple. But nevertheless, I think they expected more of themselves.
Oh, they sure did. They absolutely did.
Absolutely. And I think the last game, that third game, really, I don't know what happened. I was expecting Juju to make an unusual call, something different. But the call wasn't special. They just went middle.
It wasn't. And I'd love to know from Maria if Mike 8 had that as a strat or if they just reacted to the lack of movement on Purple there. If you get 5 big, heavy tanks, you have to have them in plain sight, in plain view, pushing on a target.
Yep, keep moving.
It's a corridor fight. You can't fire through a railway car. And they're not doing any good at the back. The guys from Premo, they absolutely nailed that. The guys from Purple, they really did.
They saw it coming straight away. They saw it. They
It was like
regrouped.
lemmings off a cliff. boys.
Absolutely.
It was bad news. Oof.
It's not what we were after.
No, not at all. And certainly, I think that domination is a part of, again, why they are the champions 2 years running
They're the best.
in that Twister Cup. But somebody stop these guys.
Yeah, they really need to come up. I mean, Cobras have beaten them before, and Cobras, in fact, they were up by 2 games in the finals of the Twister Cup. But the thing you can't do with the Premo guys is give them an edge, give them an opening.
Well, they certainly did more than give them an opening. They gave them the victory, essentially, as they were dominated from start to finish. And we will give them a chance to hang out with Maria Ho. And by we and them, I'm referring to us. And, of course, the victors hate us more.
Hate us more. Mike, you guys are the champions of Mobile Masters World of Tanks Blitz. Best 2 teams in North America faced off. What do you think it was about the execution on your part that, you know, rendered you guys victorious in the end?
We trained a lot. We worked as a team. We really executed well. The last 3 battles, the execution was flawless. Everyone was on point, timing, covering each other. It was really, I'm proud.
Being at the top, how are you guys able to mix it up sometimes? Because obviously playing against the same opponents all the time, you have to be able to, you know, keep them on their toes a bit.
You consider what they know about you and what they know that you know about them all the time, but sometimes a little bit of boldness, a little bit of improvisation, just striking the right balance between what you know works and what can really throw them off that is a bit dangerous.
All right, well, congratulations once again. Thank you.
And congratulations indeed to Hate Us More and the Premo clan. Gentlemen, if you are a World of Tanks player and you are out there and you've borne witness to this dominance right now, what are the lessons that you're taking away from both sides of the coin? Both how it is that Hate Us More drove themselves to victory, and for Cobra, some of the mistakes potentially that were made that left them in second.
It's discipline, it's hard work. These guys train incredibly long hours. They're like 5 nights a week, a couple of hours every night, working on these strats day in, day out. And you saw the guys who worked the hardest at it there, Mike 8 and those boys, they won. It's not an accident. And if
So then, Snake, let me ask you this. Is it a function just of having been exposed to more strats, counter strats, permutations, and just the hours invested to prepare yourself better? Is it a simple function of that?
I would like to simplify it, but it's not, right? Obviously, the time invested is important, but it's also the talent.
yeah, they're talented kids.
It's definitely the talent.
Yeah, we heard him mention improvisation, which is obviously a part of it. And we saw it right there in that third game that gave them the victory. So there is a look at our 2017 Mobile Masters champions from the Premo clan. Hate Us More.
Hot diggity dog.
Well done.
Great work, boys.
All right, on behalf of everyone here in Las Vegas, we thank you for joining us. I'm Ali Najad alongside Snake and Bushka saying good night.